Tonight on the podcast, we're talking more Ezra Miller drama, more Will Smith drama, Grant Gustin replacing Ezra Miller as a Flash, Stephen Amell coming back to the Arrowverse, Moon Knight, and Doctor Strange 2 tickets crushing records right now. Crushing. Lance, hit that music. It is Friday Night in Phoenix, and you're locked into the best damn pop culture podcast in all of the land, the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I am Lance.
I'm Sticks.
Hey, Sticks Boy joining us.
Why do you got to keep putting these you know, I don't know if you call them disclaimers or what, but these qualifications of pop culture podcast? We are the best damn podcast, ever.
I like to stand out amongst the crowd.
Everybody
even if I have to shout out
imitators.
Loud. Tonight is the only thing you'll see. We're gonna stand up so you notice me. All right. little power line there for anybody? No. All right. Listen, if you're new to the podcast and just checking us out, I want to say thank you. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us tremendously. We're here for your geek pleasure every Friday night.
Every Friday, without fail.
Sticks, how are you doing, man? Welcome back. It's good to have you back again.
Thanks for having me back. I'm doing good, guys. How about yourselves?
On an episode maybe I can get through it all of without having internet issues or some sort of issues.
I was going to ask, how's the squirrel situation over there? Is it still gnawing on your wires? Or?
Oh, I shot him. He's dead.
That's the way it should be.
I may or may not have peppered the ceilings of my house with 12 gauge, but I got him.
I think 12 gauge on a squirrel is a little bit of an overkill. I think you might have just obliterated him.
Yeah, you probably should have went with buckshot.
I mean, yeah. I did find a little piece of fur that I gave to Max to use as a merkin after he said that he felt a little naked after using the Manscaped. So I gave him a little all natural merkin, and he seemed to be happy. So,
oh man,
that's why he's not here today, because he said he had to model it. I don't, He said he found someone on Craigslist he needed to model it to. I don't pick on his business. I just
so he got a pube toupee or toupee.
Yeah, merkin.
Pube. Is that what that's called? Is that the official terminology for a pube toupee?
Yeah,
a merkin.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I just was letting you go with the merkin thing. I thought it was something you just made up.
No.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A pube toupee is called a merkin. The more you know.
Who says you don't learn things on this show?
It's like an episode of Reading Rainbow.
Right?
Aaron just helping the kids. Just teaching the kids, man.
Yep. We do it for the children. For the children.
Someone think of the children.
Yeah, the children.
The children are our future.
Teach them well. Let them lead the way.
What about you, Lance? What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just excited for... I know this is a geek podcast, but as you guys know, I'm a sports fan, and I'm just excited for it.
I'm just kidding.
You are an asshole. Hey, can I tell our listeners, because I said this before we started, Matt gave me so much shit last week for coming on at 7:28. Sticks, what time did Matt come on the show tonight?
Oh, God. 5 minutes ago?
Listen.
It's 7:35, so 5 minutes ago would be correct. You win a chocolate.
My mistakes. So last week when I'm sitting here for a half hour by myself, and not one, but two of the co-hosts of this show roll in at 7:28. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna enjoy my dinner with my fiance, I'm just gonna chill. And then I looked at my clock and I was like, oh, I should probably go. And I expected Sticks to be the only one here. And boy, was I wrong.
Which is horrible that Sticks is our guest, and he was like totally cool with the fact that Sticks would be here by himself.
I didn't say I was cool with it. I just said I expected it.
That was what he was expecting, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I deliberately did not text you like, hey, you coming? Because I wanted to see how close you'd get to the start of the show just so I could give you shit like you gave me shit.
Oh, well, at least I'm here, unlike some other people.
That's true.
Ooh.
That's true. Max
Look at
is
that
Max got a workout using his Manscaped.
Yeah, so much so that he had to have a merkin. He asked me to make him a merkin out of the squirrel I killed.
He's on an IV drip right now. He exhausted a lot of his got dehydrated trying to trim that weasel.
Yeah, I heard he got it let out of control, and then, shake it once, that's fine. Shake it twice, it's okay. Shake it 3 times, now you're playing with yourself. And now he's got a little carpal tunnel, and he had to go get his tennis elbow and his carpal tunnel checked out.
So we've had 2 musical references tonight. You've quoted two songs tonight
So far, yeah.
That's all the show is. Man. We're just gonna
only
start
7 minutes in.
Yeah.
This
Or, well,
could
5
be our
minutes.
musical episode.
There you go. It seems like everyone's got to have one, right? Every sitcom has to have at least one musical episode.
Hey.
You can sing "Carry On" by Wayward Son.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
They'll be pleased when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest.
Hey, your mom's on the chat, man. I gotta say thank you
Lance,
to
don't
her.
you cry no more.
Don't you cry no more. See, I sing it. I'm not doing this.
Where's my Guitar Hero guitar? Watch, we'll get a fucking copyright strike or something for DMC
right?
for music just for singing it. Well, what were you praising your mom for?
Not my mom, but your mom.
Oh, well, she's a lovely woman.
Yeah. No, she defended us against some fucking Karen on the comments last week.
Yeah, I love those Karens.
It said we are building and this is coming from Ish. I'm not assuming, like, Ish, do you have daughters?
No, he's only got Ish. You mean Sticks?
Sticks. Do you have daughters?
I have one daughter. Yes.
One daughter. Okay, we're all fathers of girls, and this lady said that we are complicit to raising or to the detriment of society for women, I guess, or something to that effect. And your mom was a fucking champ and defended us because we don't condone violence. We do condone violence. I mean, Matt's a big wrestling fan.
I sat there and I read that, and I was like, there's no doubt in my mind she's talking about Lance. This is
What did I
100%
say?
targeted at Lance.
You know what's so funny, dude? You know what's
I'm
so
just
funny?
kidding. I'm just kidding, Lance.
No, I know I said some inflammatory things, dude. I know
No,
that.
you really didn't. Nobody really did.
Well, I kind of called Jada out for some bullshit. She's
got alopecia.
she's not got she don't have leukemia or something. You know what I mean? Like, she's losing her hair. Okay, there's worse things. All right, so I did say that. But then what's funny is I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have said that. Well, dude, all I've seen are video clips of these comedians saying the exact same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
About Ricky Gervais and all these people just coming to Chris Rock's defense. It was awesome. She was a hypocrite. You're absolutely right. So we don't need listeners like that. We need listeners like your mom.
What are you going to do? The world today we live in is full of Karens and full of just everyone needs a participation trophy. So whatever. What are you going to do?
Keyboard warriors everywhere.
Hey, but you know what? I applaud her and I thank her for not only watching the episode, but for taking the time out of your day to leave the comment. I appreciate.
That was more than a comment. She wrote a novel there.
I appreciate that. We got into your headspace and we got into your life so deep.
Rent free.
Yeah, that you had to leave a comment. And we're probably still there to this day. So I appreciate you for checking us out.
Free.
I bet you she didn't leave a subscribe, but that's all right. I'll just take solace in the fact that we now live in, like Lance said, we now live in your head rent free.
We didn't sign a lease. We're just squatting.
Yep.
And
I applaud it to anybody you show it to, and you're like, look at these disgusting pigs and their disgusting take on what Will Smith did defending his wife.
Oh, the best one I saw was and I don't remember who said it. It was another comedian. He was saying, his joke was kind of like a dad joke, right? It was like
it was the dude from The Office. Or no, not from The Office, the dude from Workaholics. I can't remember what character he plays on Workaholics.
Not familiar with that.
I know what you.
Yeah, well, he was saying, he's like, the dude like basically said, G.I. Jane 2, you know what I mean? Like, it was so like such a dad joke. It's not like he called her like Gollum or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been way worse.
Eric Griffin, he played Montez on Comedy Central's Workaholics.
See, I didn't even know that he was from Workaholics.
Yep.
I watched that show very sparingly. Like,
good show.
I love that show, but it's not a show that I'm like, I didn't catch it when it was on the air. Like, I caught it at the tail end, right? It's not a show that I'm like, oh fuck, I need to watch all these, right? Like Letterkenny, I watched the first episode and I had to finish it all, right? Workaholics is like, oh, nothing else on. I guess I'll put on Workaholics. I need to laugh tonight. But nope. Eventful week. A very eventful week.
Long week for me. I'm so happy it's Friday.
Me too, man.
Because I
week
get to hang out with all of you beautiful people.
I was going to go see... fucker. So I was going to go see Sonic yesterday, and my fucking kid got sick, so now we're going tomorrow. But it's getting awesome reviews.
Your kid made a miraculous recovery in one day that they can go to movies.
He had
tomorrow.
like a 24-hour like stomach bug thing that's been going around. A lot of kids have been getting it. But it only lasts 24 hours, so I'm just hoping that the other kid doesn't get it. So he got it. Nobody else is showing symptoms. It looks like it just went to him, but we're holding out hope.
So what you're saying is you need a hero.
Dude, that's the song that was in my head.
You're holding out for a hero to the end of the night. He's got to be strong, and he's got to be fast, and he's got to be fresh from the fight.
That is the fucking song that was in my head when I was talking. Oh, man, but I didn't want to steal your thunder, Matt.
Hey, I mean, if you can get it in
no,
there,
it's your gag, man. It's your gag. You take it.
Listen,
I'm just here to peddle brick oven pizza propaganda.
I love that you're icons of brick oven pizza.
That is great.
Yeah, I'm working hard to get like Home Depot or something to sponsor us for brick ovens.
They can sponsor us and come sod my backyard.
I only said Home Depot because they sell bricks. I have no fucking idea who makes brick oven pizzas. I can't think of one company that makes brick oven pizzas.
Man, if only you had something that had like the power of the internet. Like, who makes brick oven pizza?
Like this wonderful device that we're on right now,
right?
See, this is a self-made brick oven. Some Italiano made that, I'm sure.
Hey, prego. He's in there.
So, oh man.
There's a video on YouTube. Chef Steps pop-up wood fire brick oven pizza. This dude literally stacked like 16 bricks on top of each other and a couple cement slabs. And
yeah, there's not a lot that goes into it. There's not a lot that goes into it. It's literally like a chimney.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, it's a brick cave with a chimney, and you put your pizza in there.
That's why when I said Pizza Hut had it, like I was like, what the? Why is this such a hard concept? Like, why are you guys bragging on me for this? It's not like I said you with every pizza you get a 24 karat gold bar or something like that.
All right, I'll let you in on something. It's not about the fact that you said it. It's how adamant you were about it.
I'm still adamant. I'm still adamant.
That's what makes the joke funny. Is how adamant you are about it.
I do think it's some hallucinatory like I do think I'm hallucinating it, but I believe it. It's like in my mind's eye, dude.
Like you had a 16-hour straight Bible study session, and just the word of the Lord and the gospel just overtook you.
Oh, I prayed about it. I felt Jesus run through my body.
You couldn't like look away, and you were praying and hallelujah.
Yeah, he said, Lance.
Yeah.
There is one Pizza Hut in the entire world in Gilbert, Arizona.
You must go there.
You must go there. If you build it, they will come. Dude, I want to watch Field of Dreams now. Such a good fucking movie.
You're like the second coming to Jesus. You turn regular pizza into brick oven pizza.
Hell yeah.
He sent you to Pizza Hut. I'm going to send you to Pizza Hut, and I'm going to spare you the runs, and instead, you're going to turn pizza into brick oven pizza.
It is the fast food of pizza, huh? It's like Burger King of pizza joints.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Yeah, we're not getting a sponsor from Pizza Hut anytime soon.
I don't know if I would compare it to
no, I guess Little Caesars is probably the Burger King of
no
pizza.
way, dude. Little Caesars is good.
No, just as far as like cost comparison.
$5 for a fucking large pizza, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't even know how they make money.
Well, essentially, how much do you think they pay for the ingredients?
Well, and considering this, we've seen more inflation this last year than we have in the last 4 decades or something ridiculous like that, within a year. I'm pretty sure those pizzas still cost $5 a pizza.
They do, and I'm okay with it. I'm here for it.
Unless they're getting their ingredients from third world countries that really need the money that bad for 50 cents.
From third world countries, and the meat is actually coming from like the lowest of rodents from those third world countries, like
100% wombat.
The pepperoni's not pig; it's like guinea pig.
Hey, I'd be all right with that. It's javelina. See,
javelina.
They're a Detroit company, but they come to Arizona on during the winter, and they hunt javelina, and they get enough to stockpile the big pepperoni for their $5 pizzas.
There was a javelina in my neighborhood. I saw it on Facebook like a week ago in like the Facebook bulletin thing, because they run wild out here in the desert and stuff, And apparently it was in the middle of the neighborhood.
Is that a rodent?
A javelina?
It's like in the rodent
It's like a
family,
wild.
Yeah.
No, isn't it like a wild pig?
It's considered in part of the rodent family.
Is it?
Actually, yeah.
I have to look at it. I've never heard of it.
And they're stinky bastards. It's like a hairy pig. It looks like a hairy pig. They're wild out here. They're a nuisance, but they're actually part of the rodent family.
I didn't realize that. I thought they were like little hairy wild pigs.
Essentially, that's what they are, but they're part of the rodent family.
It's nuts. That is nuts.
What? Your mom Chinese COVID bodies?
Yeah, I missed something.
Your mom says javelina or Satan.
Probably. I've never seen one up close. I'm trying to picture what they look like, and I have a general image, but I'm not even sure it's correct.
You don't know what a javelina looks like?
I'm just not sure. It's not something that I could tell you what a coyote looks like, but it's not a javelina is not something that I've,
Yeah, I've never heard of it, so I've never seen it.
Chinchilla.
I mean, chupacabra. It may not exist, but I know what it looks like.
I've heard of chupacabra. Better watch out for chupacabra.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like a mini warthog.
Yeah, it's essentially a little pig, like I said.
A pot-bellied warthog?
Yeah,
they're like rodents, huh? I thought they were pigs.
Nope.
I didn't realize that.
Or cactus, they call them cactus pigs. But
interesting.
Mm-hmm. They're
violent little bastards, from what I heard.
Yes, they are.
But
I never knew you had those out there.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of we're kind of like the Australia of the United States. We got a lot of fucked up things here in Arizona.
I've been there. I've seen some of the stuff you got there.
Scorpions the size of your hand.
I've seen those.
Cockroaches that'll literally eat your face.
How about those?
Yeah, they're what are they called? What are those things called? They're like this big.
Cicadas?
We have those too,
but they're like, what are they called? I don't remember.
I'll
talk about it later. The big fucking ones.
Your mom said we're talking about Little Caesars ingredient sourcing, and I made a cannibalism joke.
Oh, I get it. I get it. What are those big fucking cockroaches called?
Big fucking cockroaches.
Like Paula Verde beetle. That's something else. I don't know. We got lots of fucking.
I don't know. I know they have them in Florida too, because they used to be in my grandparents' garage all the time, and you would find them dead. They're big motherfuckers. So
yeah, they're like 4 inches long.
Centipedes, rattlesnakes, fucking Gila monsters. We got it all out here. Most of it's in Tucson. A lot of it's in Tucson. Tucson sucks, so you don't want to go there anyway.
Well, they just go to the dirty part of Arizona. That's why.
Yeah.
When I was there, I was in Surprise. So
Hey, that's where I am.
that's where you are. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I thought. Yeah, my
Speaking
father
of,
lived out there.
see, I live in the like. Well, I'm not sure. Like both ends, like on the east side and the west side, they have like really desert part. I'm in a super desert part, where it's like dirt all around me.
That's because he lives in like BF fucking E, and he's living in the last part of Arizona to be like industrialized.
But do you know that we're the densest? We're the densest, like as far as population is concerned, we're the densest area or something like that in the state. It's crazy. So we're trying to get the city's trying to get incorporated or whatever, which makes them an actual city. We'll be the 4th largest city in the state of Arizona.
Lance is gonna wear that badge proudly. He's making a plaque.
No, I want to get the fuck out, dude. There's too many people here. There is too many people here.
That's going to be the catchphrase. Now an actual city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're now. Like, we're just like a township or something
Municipality, probably.
like that. Yeah. But.
Oh, shit, yeah. Your mom said tarantulas and wolf spiders, but you guys are exaggerating hugely.
We're on a podcast. That's what you do. Brown recluse. Have you heard of those spiders?
Black
Snakes?
widows.
Brown recluse, literally like they bite you and it rots a hole in the
Yeah, but they have
bite or
those
whatever.
everywhere.
But I think they're
I don't think we have
prominent
them
here. They're dead.
I think they stay more closer to warm areas, like where I'm at. I mean, we get winter, and they probably die off up here.
Yeah, but you get big old fuckers here. But I remember I went to Missouri and somebody's like, "Hey, if you're gonna go into the woods, like if you're gonna go into the woods, because like where we were at, like
hey, your mom. That's not the only small thing Lance has. Heyo. Scorpion.
His backyard like backed like a big like wooded area, and we were gonna go in there and like paintball or something like this. Was years ago. I don't remember what we were doing.
Let's go.
But they're like, "Hey, if you do that, you need to like put your jeans down and put your socks around the bottom of your jeans and stuff, because ticks will get
Duct
you." I'm like, fucking ticks? Like, so I had this fear of getting bit by a tick, dude. And I've been around scorpions and all this other shit my whole life, but ticks scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Well, Lyme disease is no joke.
Yeah. What actress has that? Lyme disease. Some big actress.
Can't
Is it
remember.
Amanda Bynes or something like that?
I don't think so.
I'm saying names right now that have not
Yeah, don't
been-
be slandering people. Lance.
Yeah, I'm saying names right now that I have not done any research on. I know there's an actress. I just can't remember who it was.
Jessica Rabbit. I don't know.
Jessica Rabbit probably does have Lyme disease. Amy Schumer had Lyme disease.
Was Amy Schumer the big one?
Yeah.
It was some comedian or something.
Leftovers Aggie says Robin Williams.
Oh, it was Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
That's the one I
had
was
it
thinking
too.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shania
that's the one I was
Twain,
thinking of.
Alec Baldwin.
But is that something that lasts like forever?
Apparently Ben Stiller.
Depends
Like,
on
you
how
get
bad
it?
you get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, depends on how bad you get it.
Former President George W. Bush. Kelly Osbourne. Apparently a bunch of people have had Lyme disease.
Wow.
Corona.
Your mom says all actresses have it. It was trendy for a while.
It was like cocaine in the 80s, Lyme disease in the 2000s,
Yep. They used to have Lyme disease parties.
and denim in the 90s. Cocaine in the 80s, denim in the 90s, Lyme disease in the 2000s.
All right. Well, let's stop talking about what diseases actresses do and don't have. Chlamydia. And get into a little bit of geek news.
Geek news.
Lance, you're supposed to be controlling this, aren't you?
Oh, I said I play the video. I forgot to do.
I thought you were
thing.
filling in for Max. You guys are like,
I
share
guess I
one
should
brain,
be.
So
Hey. No one.
You guys share
can-
one brain. So I
No
figured you
one
would,
can take Max's place.
I mean, yeah. Solo Wookie says Amy Schumer is Lyme disease.
Ooh.
Dude, speaking of her, I saw. You might have shown me this, or you might have brought. But that joke she said to Steve-O, or did I say this on this show? The joke she said to Steve-O at Charlie Sheen's roast about
Yeah.
Ryan Dunn dying and it should have been Steve-O. That was fucked up, dude. It still pisses me off every time I think about it. Fuck Amy Schumer.
All
right.
Ryan Dunn.
So time for geek news.
Yes. Ezra Miller making his triumphant return with the mugshot that will never die. Came out this week that WB had an emergency meeting to discuss his future in the DCEU and that they would be shelving all projects he was involved in moving forward. Then they came out yesterday, I believe, and refuted that, saying that that meeting never took place and they have no plans to pause anything with him right now or in the future. My question is, this dude, man, how does he keep getting off? Like, all right, we're gonna get into the Will Smith stuff later, but like Will Smith slapped a dude on stage. All right, we get that.
That's not as big of a name,
you know. Well, dude, still, but he's trying to be the face of a franchise that's struggling, and they're trying to rebuild it. So, you know, he can choke out a fan overseas. He can basically threaten to kill a woman and her husband and steal all their belongings, and still just we're cool, you know, blind eye to it. Like, we're cool.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. Like, what he did is way worse than what Will Smith did, right? As much shit we've been giving Will Smith the last 2 weeks on the show, what he did is way worse. But he's just, the only difference is one is named Will Smith.
Well,
and the other one's
not. I'm eccentric, and he just gets out of it.
Eccentric and threatening to, like, didn't he say, "I'm going to kill your slut of a wife"?
Oh yeah,
the exact quote.
And he stole all their personal information and credit cards and
no, what he did was horrendous. But the thing is, his name's not Will Smith. I mean, cancel culture goes after the big names. That's the whole thing with cancel culture. They want to go after the biggest of the big.
Well, and like all of the rumors about like it's coming out now, but the pylon train is coming to him, but he just seems to be like he's in the Matrix and just dodging all of it. Like, what? Because now it's coming out that he was basically unruly and he was having breakdowns and just all around not a fun person to work with while filming The Flash. So it's like
The Flash or Justice League?
The Flash.
Oh, I didn't realize it was Flash. Yeah, what I think is going to happen. And I don't think Grant Gustin's going to replace him. I don't think that's going to happen. But if they see the Flash as a viable franchise, which I'm hoping it is, the Flash is one of my favorite characters of all time. They're going to find a way to recast him, you know, a la Don Cheadle and who played him before? Who played War Machine before? What the hell's his name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Baby.
Just recast him and start over. My thing is that Johnny Depp gets fired from all these things. Nothing's proven. Amber Heard is still working. She has a whole bunch of allegations. She's not fired. Ezra Miller's working. His allegations are proven. He's still working. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. He's banned from the, we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But it's like double standard everywhere you go, right? There's no, just pick your morals and stand on them. You know what I mean? Your morals are your morals. That's why they call them your morals. It's your North Star, right? It's your center. Pick your morals and stand on them. But you can't constantly change the rule. I mean, Louis C.K. was, canceled for 3 years. He just won a Grammy for masturbating in front of women. Way worse than what Will Smith. He won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album just a week ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he won a Grammy for masturbating in front of women. Like,
no,
how do you get out of that? Like,
no, he won Best Comedy Album at the Grammys just a week ago, and people were in an uproar because in 2017 that whole masturbating thing came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, Hollywood is a representation of what the world shouldn't be, right? You put politics and all that stuff aside, right? There is the good old boys club and protecting people because they bring in dollars or whatever, or Scientology protecting people because they donate to their church, or All these things that are happening, in Hollywood are examples that we should use to not allow society to live by.
Yeah.
He was cranking his what did he say? Yanking the crank in front of women. Is that better? Leftover?
Yeah.
Instead of masturbating? Yanking the kraken.
Your mom says they fired Johnny Depp from. Oh, let me put it on this. There it is. They fired Johnny Depp from Harry Potter for being a shit. At the very least, they should fire this dude for Harry Potter too. This feels a little worse than Depp's. He might have beat his crazy wife. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say that like in the new Harry Potter, the Secrets of Dumbledore, or whatever, like his performance is very phoned in. Like
who? Johnny Depp?
No. Yeah,
Miller.
Mads Mikkelsen. Ezra Miller. Yeah.
But I mean, if what's being said about what he did on the Flash, I wouldn't be surprised because people are saying that on the Flash set he was losing it, but he wasn't, and he was having meltdown, but he wasn't like violent, but he was screaming that he didn't know what he was doing. He was very self-critical. He would get a thought in his head and start screaming, "I don't know why I'm doing this or what I'm doing." So, it just seems like he's got some self-destructive tendencies that he needs to.
Well, it sounds like drugs. It sounds like meth.
Well,
I'm not trying.
Why is meth always the first drug everyone goes to?
Well,
dude's crazy. Must be meth.
Well, cocaine, you get real hyper and stuff. Like it's meth is the one that really like meth and heroin and stuff. Like heroin is so you can't really function on heroin, right? But meth, like you have people that can function pretty highly when they're on meth.
Zaggy says it's coke.
I don't think cocaine does that to you. Like, yeah, maybe it might cause anxiety, but these crazy outbursts, like, there's no hallucinogenic properties to cocaine.
And you lose weight. Well, maybe I need to start snorting coke then.
Well, no, she was saying, yeah, I don't. Oh, I see. I didn't realize Leftover said the and you lose weight part. Yeah. But to me, like I have lots of friends that have been on meth and heroin and cocaine and all these things, like prescription medications and stuff. Prescription medications can make you do some crazy shit too, but cocaine it doesn't track for me.
I agree, Zaggy. I want Hollywood problems too. I just want the Hollywood paycheck to go with the Hollywood problems.
Yeah, but more money, more problems.
That's all right. But it's the more money part that's got my attention.
I just don't want to. I want enough money to not have to worry, but I don't want so much money to where I'm doing stupid shit. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a balance.
I just want enough money to be able to pay my bills and never have to look at my bank account.
I don't want Elon Musk money because I will do stupid shit, but I kind of want like CEO of a Fortune 500 company money. You know.
See, Zaggy says, yes, I am fine with more money and more problems.
Yeah, something. I think shit's gonna hit the fan here soon, as far as his career is concerned, and or he's gonna have to be doing it, even if it's not drugs. Say it's, we saw Amanda Bynes go through these. That's the second time we brought up her name tonight. We saw Amanda Bynes go through some crazy shit, and most of that was to mental deficiencies and bipolar disorder and all these things, right? And
yeah.
She went to rehab for that stuff. Like, we may see him going to rehab. He might. He didn't hurt anybody, right?
No.
Like choke someone out.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was the other altercation from a year or so ago, right? But this like Hollywood thing, he didn't hurt anybody.
No.
He just broke in, threatened people, stole stuff.
It wasn't Hollywood. It was he did it in Hawaii, but yeah.
Hawaii. Sorry, I didn't mean Hollywood. It's very possible that he may not even see jail time, and they may put him in a rehabilitation program.
Zaggy said, I already do stupid shit. Zaggy, see, what you missed out the boat on is you should film it, send it to MTV, and then you can be like Johnny Knoxville and get rich for doing dumb shit.
They will not open or view your submissions.
Well, they probably did before Jackass became a thing.
Jackass is the reason they came out with that disclaimer. Now all their shows have it, ridiculousness and everything.
I think that's bullshit, though. I think ridiculousness will look at him and then wait and put him on TV later. Because I find it hard to believe that they just scour the internet for these.
I think they got a team of probably like 10 people.
Maybe
that their entire job is to surf YouTube and TikTok, and
that's what they use interns for.
You just put a sticker on it that says "totally not a video of me doing dumb shit." It works every time.
But it's actually a video of you lighting a firecracker with your teeth,
or in my butthole. Yeah,
these are real things that we've seen on Ridiculousness. Both of these things. Someone put a rocket or a firecracker in their teeth, and someone lit a firecracker in their butthole. Fucking idiots.
Or butt chugging a beer and farting it out. Or
well, Steve-O did that.
Yeah,
in the movie.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I don't know.
I mean, I'm guilty of being one of those people that was like, "Fuck yeah, jackass," and going out and doing stupid shit like pushing each other down the hills in shopping carts, or
we were doing that before Jackass.
Pretending to go fishing in the middle of a road while traffic's there, and a manhole cover, and dumb shit like that.
Yep.
But what are you gonna do? But along the lines, so continuing off the Ezra Miller stuff, now that he's in hot water again, and DC seems to be just letting her go, letting her pass by, fans have started calling for Grant Gustin to take over the role of Flash and moving forward in any future DC projects.
No.
Do you guys want to see the CW Flash make that jump to the big screen?
No.
I like him as Flash though. Like
I like him as Flash.
I like him, but if they're trying to create this this like kind of darker world like they have been with the DCEU, because I mean their lightest movie is what? Shazam is the lightest movie that they have, and even then it's still nowhere near as light as the CW Arrowverse.
Fucking Zach, I butt chugged a beer. You do get drunker faster.
He says fasters, so he must have already done that tonight.
Yeah.
Grant Gustin to me just doesn't look like the kind of actor that would be believable in that kind of.
But yeah, Ezra Miller is.
Ezra Miller only does dark stuff. I mean, really, like his last few projects. I mean, he was in a Nicholas Sparks movie or something like that, right? Paper.
No, it's not Nicholas. No, he was in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's right, and that's probably one of the lighter things that he's done. But
I mean,
Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts movies, that's kind of darker than CW. Like a lot of his stuff.
I like that you think that a movie about a kid being molested by his aunt and having
is that the premise of that movie?
Mental health issues and not fitting in and befriending these outcasts of teenagers.
Is that the premise
get drunk
of that
and
movie?
Party. Yes.
I have not seen that movie in a long time, dude. I thought it was like Fault in Our Stars or like Paper Towns and Notebook and shit. Like that's what I thought that movie was.
No. Mentally blocked it.
Yeah, I thought it was like some romantic comedy thing. Like that's still dark, dude. All you did was prove my point.
Definitely not. It's definitely not romantic. No.
Oh man.
Remember how happy the movie Beaches was? It was such a wonderful movie.
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in years.
No, but Grant Gustin, like he just came out with this movie on Netflix where he's like pals with a dog or whatever, like some Run Dixie thing. I don't know what it's called. But he's just that kind of actor, lighter fare type actor. And if that's the route they want to go, he'll fit. I don't want to see more CW Flash though. I don't want to see that.
Aaron says, "Oh my God, so Beaches."
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, both of these projects are different
tonally.
Gustin is, it's CW, it's lighthearted. It's not the DCEU where it's dark and
Zack
so
Snyder.
I don't think Gustin would fit into that. They'd have to change him. I could see him going in with a Shazam movie, I guess, but not the way they got Ezra Miller doing.
Even then, I think Shazam is darker than what the CW has done. The CW is like almost unbearable to watch.
The Shazam is literally the DC equivalent, DCEU equivalent of the CW verse.
Yeah, I agree.
I still think it's closer to like I think, and it might just be my my opinion of the CW shows that are absolute trash and nobody should watch them. Like Arrow was the darkest of all those shows, right? The Flash is really lighthearted, and like even just the warmth of the colors that they're filming with, like you can see it right here in this in these two images. I mean, it's bright, it's loud, it's very neon-esque, right? Like Shazam, you could pivot Zachary Levi's character. I mean, because they're gonna have him and Black Adam in a movie sometime, right? They have to.
Oh,
that's the plan. I think.
Eventually, yeah.
I believe Shazam pivoting into that world better than I do Grant Gustin in a leotard suit pivoting to that world. He just doesn't strike me as that kind of actor with any grit to him. I mean, this dude was on Glee.
Yeah, but again, we can't. Yeah, if you learn from Robert Pattinson, you can't judge a book by what he's an actor by what he's done previously.
But Robert Pattinson, before Batman, like if you look at the space between Twilight and Batman, the movies that he was doing in the middle are very artsy and
absolutely.
He's a fantastic actor. Grant Gustin is a comedic, like he is a CW actor. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter.
Solo says maybe you should just turn up the brightness on the TV if it's that dark for you. I'm just saying.
But I don't think that I'm stretching here. Like I don't think my argument is and it's my argument. So of course I'm not going to think it's too ridiculous, but I just don't see it. Like any of those people, even some like Stephen Amell is like the only one that like I see him like in Code 8 or something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, this fits. You put Grant Gustin in some of these projects that Stephen Amell is doing, and it just doesn't work for me.
I just think we haven't gotten a chance to see his range yet. We haven't gotten a chance to see really him do anything outside of the Flash other than Glee. You know, there's not a lot. He hasn't done a lot of, at least that I can think of, a lot of like Hollywood big time movies, or he might be doing those. What's that?
Glee is the only thing I can remember him being in. So
yeah, he just had a new movie come out on Netflix about a dog.
So there's that.
That's the only three things I can think of.
You just like Dennis Quaid did a movie about a dog. Like, there's
every actor gets a Netflix movie though.
No, but it's a very family. It's a family. It's not even it's a children's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, the projects that he's going towards too. Like he hasn't. That may be the case, but even when I look at him, just his face, like it just doesn't. He doesn't have the hard features like what Ezra Miller has. Right? Like Ezra Miller has like this kind of disgruntled manic look to him, and Grant Gustin looks like he was the lead swimmer in his high school swim team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased against good looking people. I have no idea.
I just think that he's a better Barry Allen in Flash than Ezra Miller was. Like
I've never been sold on Ezra Miller.
Kind of played it as like, you know, Barry Allen being on the spectrum, and he doesn't have to. They didn't have to go that route. Like, I think that Grant Gustin understands the role, understands the character, and would come into that movie understanding what he needed to do, or even rebooting the Flash. Like, I still sit here and wonder, after the success of Joker, after the success of the Batman, after what movie is going to come out now that's a standalone DC movie that's going to blow up. Why are they still even continuing on with this universe? Why are they still going on with the Snyder universe? It's done. It's over. Like, they say that they're not going to do another Justice League movie. They have no intentions of continuing the Snyderverse. So I don't understand why they're still putting the secondary
Jason Momoa's movies succeed, as does Gal Gadot, and they feel that they have to,
because Wonder Woman 84 was relatively hated on.
Yes. But people went and saw it, and it was post-pandemic. It made money.
Yeah,
and Aquaman made money.
No, it wasn't post-pandemic. It was during the pandemic because it came out on HBO Max first. It was.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what you said that. You said what I meant to say. I'm sorry. It was not pre-pandemic, is what I was trying to say. So the money. I mean, Wonder Woman is still a draw.
Yeah, then on name alone, but I'm just saying, like, reboot it. Give me a good a new Flash movie. Why? I think they're banking hard on this movie because of Michael Keaton's coming back, Ben Affleck's coming back. We're gonna see all these different Batmen in there, and they're banking hard on the nostalgia of Michael Keaton, which isn't a bad thing because that's what Spider-Man No Way Home did. Nostalgia everywhere, and it succeeded. And I'm just saying, man, at what point do the higher ups at DC, at Warner Brothers and DC, just go, look, man, these standalone movies are doing so much better than whatever we had in Justice League. We need to move away from that.
There's gonna be shit
Recast.
changing, dude. I'm pretty sure where did you go? Sorry, I made my screen minimize. There's gonna be some shit changing, and I'm trying to see what our next slide is because I think
it's down a ways. But
I'm gonna jump forward so we can just get into this real quick because I think this speaks to it. The Warner Brothers Discovery thing. I think there's going to be a lot of changes coming forward because of this. AT&T sold Warner Brothers Media, so that's DC. That's basically AT&T's entire media portfolio. They sold it to Discovery, and now this is the new company. Which, by the way, dumbest fucking logo I've ever seen in my life. Did they do this on Microsoft Word?
Probably.
Did they use Word art?
Maybe.
Multi-billion-dollar company. They're using fucking word art. This is horrible. But this is their new logo. Warner Brothers Discovery. There's going to be a lot of changes. They fired all these people that have been responsible for some of this shit that we've been seeing. They're going to fire some other people. There's supposed to be 600 layoffs come Monday when this guy takes over. But I think we're going to see a lot of changes when it comes to the DC universe as a whole. Hopefully we got a company that will actually listen to their fans, because I agree with you. I think it needs to be rebooted, but I also want Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck back, and Jason Momoa, and Gal Gadot. There's no one really except for Ezra Miller that I would want recast at this point.
I think with the success of Pattinson as Batman, though, your days of Ben Affleck Batman are over, man. It's not.
But I still don't believe that Aquaman in that world that Matt Reeves is building, and Matt Reeves has said himself that it's a trilogy. Like it's not something that's supposed to carry on. It's basically like a Christopher Nolan thing.
Well, I mean, I can imagine we're gonna see through this trilogy, we're gonna see Batman at different stages. We're gonna see this Batman at different stages of his career. We've gotten the year 2 Batman. And now we're probably going to see him in the middle of it, and then we'll probably see him more towards, the deep into his career.
I just think if they add any sort of magical element to it, because obviously I'm not trying to say Superman and that stuff is magical, but the flying and things like that, like that movie just seems so much more grounded and
reality, yeah, somewhat reality.
Yeah, that if you see Superman come into this scenario, or Aquaman who can speak to fish and can breathe underwater and all this stuff, it's going to cheapen the whole thing for me. Like, I just don't think it works. So I hope they don't do that. I hope they just keep this alone and continue on with it. There's 2 Batmans here. There's Robert Pattinson, who's grounded. It's set in realism. It's much more of a character piece. And then you have Ben Affleck, where it's the awesome side of it, right? It's set into this fantastical world, right, where Superman can exist and Aquaman. There's 2 separate properties here that are,
but I don't
essentially dueling each other.
You don't need to have Superman in any of these movies anymore. Like, you can have them be their own separate entities. You can give Superman his old Boy Scout world and give Batman this world. Like, Matt Reeves' Batman is so good. Like, they could focus more on, they could focus more on being like the Bat family. They already mentioned Bloodhaven, so they could go into Nightwing. You could focus on. There's so much more within the Batman realm that they could focus on in these movies that they don't need Superman, they don't need Aquaman, they don't need half the rest of the Justice League to make these movies.
I agree with you, but how awesome would it be to see a Justice League movie done well? How awesome would that be to see? I mean, we saw Avengers. Avengers is, with the exception of Ultron, Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, they're great movies, man. I love all of them, and it's so like just the emotion you feel like seeing all these people on the screen together and like what Marvel has built. It's a shame that the heads at Warner Brothers haven't been able to figure out something that would, if they do it well, could change. I mean, could change the company's future. I mean, AT&T bought Warner Media or Warner Brothers or whatever it was for $82 billion or something like that. Discovery just bought it for $49.
Took a loss
after 7 years.
They were liquidated.
And you own the fucking Justice League? I actually want to find out what AT&T purchased it for, because I know it's quite a bit more.
For me, DCEU and the MCU comes down to writing. I think Marvel has built a good system of writing for these shows.
Because they have a leader.
They have one-man band in Fahey that oversees everything. I mean, right now it's a little hazy because of Chapek. He's kind of pulling different strings, but I still think it's coming out good. For DCEU, they've been kind of, let's do this, let's do that. That's great. Sounds, and they've been kind of all over the place.
Well,
the writing has been suspect.
Well, it's not just, I agree with you there too, but I don't think it just comes down to writing. It comes down to casting as well, because Marvel,
but they knocked it out of the park with most of their casting, except for
Marvel. Marvel goes after the best actor to play the character. Okay,
right.
DC is clout chasing. DC clout chases. They name chase. That's what DC's doing.
But I could argue with you there. I don't think that that's the case of Wonder Woman.
I do. Gal Gadot was massive at that time.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was in the Fast and the Furious. Like the Fast and the
Furious.
Furious
She had a small role in Fast and Furious. Like she died 2 films before.
Career.
She died 2 films before Wonder Woman came out. Like there was 2 films in the middle of between. She did not blow up, dude.
No, she was on the rise when they casted her.
And Zachary Levi hadn't really had a big hit up to that point.
Except for Chuck.
And Chuck was not a big hit. You realize that Chuck got canceled 3 times, and the only reason it kept coming back on the air is because Subway backed it.
But Momoa, he fresh off
Momoa,
Game
you're
of
absolutely
Thrones.
right. You're absolutely
Ben
right.
Affleck, look at his career. Henry Cavill,
but even Henry Cavill was not a huge name when he was cast as Superman. Henry Cavill was kind of a lower tier guy, and I would say Ben Affleck, in my opinion, is just phenomenal in that role.
Then you get Will Smith as Deadshot.
You are absolutely correct. But I'm saying there are exceptions to the rule. Marvel has done it way more than DC has done it. You're absolutely right. They have, except if you count. I would say Chris Hemsworth was doing some pretty big movies before he was Thor, right? Or was he a no-name guy too?
No, he was no name. Most of the Marvel people, like Edward Norton did, he did Fight Club, of course. He was big. But Robert Downey Jr. was coming back from basically obscurity.
Oh, it was a resurgence, a career resurgence
for him. Yeah, and then
that's how they got him so cheap.
Yeah, then they tried to do the same thing with Mickey Rourke, and he had The Wrestler, and then he was in, Whiplash, and then that kind of fizzled out. But like Samuel Jackson was like the biggest name that Marvel grabbed up right off the bat, and then
at the beginning,
it wasn't until later on. Well,
Jeff Daniels. I mean, Jeff Daniels is Hollywood royalty.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson wasn't in even till the post credits of that first movie, but you could argue Jeff Daniels was the first big name that they cast in the movie. But that's their first one, right? I mean, I think there's
What
exceptions.
movie was
Michael
Jeff
B.
Daniels
Jordan, Michael.
Hold on. Isn't Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, Jeff Daniels was never.
Oh
in a
no,
Marvel
who am I?
movie.
Jeff Bridges.
I was like, what
Bridges.
fucking Marvel movie was Jeff Daniels in? What am I missing?
Obadiah
I was doing the
Stane.
same thing.
It was Jeff Bridges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jeff Bridges. I misspoke. Same argument applies though. Jeff Bridges is Hollywood royalty. Like that's just
That fits better.
he's a big name. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
fucking
like,
dude. For,
Aaron just said,
you know what I mean?
Aaron just said, I feel like Chris Hemsworth's brother Liam was doing more movies. Yes, Liam was definitely the more popular of the Hemsworth brothers at the time.
Didn't Hunger Games come out before Thor?
Yes,
Yes.
Jeez, man.
Just before Thor.
All that era just seems like such a blur.
and he was also in Nicholas Sparks movies, and like Liam Hemsworth was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you may be absolutely correct. But I mean, they got Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, who was the biggest name.
But again, that's later on down the line. That was once they were already established. Yeah. You got to think what they started. Like Chris Evans tried to do the Flash and failed at that, and they're like, all right, we'll give you another
Chris
shot.
Evans never did the Flash.
Or not the Flash, the Human Torch. Sorry, he was the Human Torch and failed at that. And he's like,
he failed at 3 comic book movies: Fantastic
Captain
Four,
America.
Push, and Loser.
Yeah,
and I think there's another one.
Well, he was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, but that was after Captain America.
No, it was before.
Are you fucking serious?
That was way before.
It was way before.
Oh, yeah, that was way before.
And he was in also in not another teen movie.
Teen movie.
Yeah.
That was his first like big movie. Right? Because that's the first time I remember seeing him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So like Marvel did it, like they invented careers. They brought people up. They brought people back from obscurity. Like they built their groundwork up. They didn't go clout chasing like, oh well, we're gonna do a Batman. We need a Batman to sell this movie. Get Ben Affleck. You know, they didn't go, we need someone to sell this movie. Get Will Smith. Like before that, before Suicide Squad, I can't think of the chick's name who plays Harley Quinn right now. Margot Robbie. She was best known for her work in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. So hey, I just want to say something.
Relatively obscure too. So
I just want to say something. My Scott Pilgrim Captain America thing was not that far off. They were released within a year of each other. Scott Pilgrim came out August 2010. Captain America came out June of 2011.
But Scott Pilgrim was before Captain America. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you're absolutely right. But I was thinking, I'm like,
Zach
how long ago?
Right?
But he was his
Miley.
casting.
I want those Hollywood problems.
His casting was announced prior to that, so people knew who he was.
Probably.
I mean, because it takes 9 months to film a movie, and then that kind of movie.
DC was in trouble before this, though, because there's been rumors of them trying to shop their comic book rights for a year now, and now they're Warner Media is getting turned upside down, and
what they need is a captain. They need a captain that understands, that is a fan himself. Kevin Feige is a true fan of Marvel and of DC and of Star Wars. Like Kevin Feige is a fanboy. They need to get a fanboy that has a little bit of experience, because Kevin Feige started with the Spider-Man movies, with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. He was a producer on those. Mm-hmm. So they need to get a fanboy that has a little bit of experience on how to deal with the business, and have him shepherd the entire thing. Have him be the core, the heart of it all.
How about this? Your Discovery. Who are you going to pick to do that?
Oh, I don't know.
Honestly, honestly, his name's been thrown around out there. If it's in I love the dude. If it's in a advisory role only, Kevin Smith. Yeah. I think Kevin Smith would knock it out of the park if it's an advisory role only.
I don't know if I want him writing.
No, he doesn't need. Yeah, he doesn't need to write. Kevin Feige doesn't write anything. If it's a casting and advisory role only, I think Smith kills it.
But do you think that he would be, because one thing I do like about
Corbin is the man.
Corbin doesn't have the experience though.
No. Hey, but he's the man we deserve. The DC man we deserve.
But Kevin Smith, the one thing I love about Marvel is they do deviate sometimes from the source material, right? Civil War is a completely different story than what the Civil War book is, right?
Absolutely.
They do deviate sometimes. Winter Soldier deviated, like a lot of these things deviate, and they do put some originality in it. You don't think Kevin Smith would stick so close to the source material that it would almost just become boring?
No, I think he would allow with the way he is. I would think he would give them the artistic freedom, but he would keep it in the round of. He would keep it grounded and rooted into the trueness to the character.
What is Solo saying to me right now?
He's basically saying that you're offensive. He says, "How about a fan, he, him, or maybe a fan, they, them? You're so offensive."
Yeah, I didn't use the right pronouns. I'm sorry, Solo. How ignorant of me.
But I mean, just seeing what Kevin Smith did with his time on Supergirl and his stuff on the Flash, and I have all faith that he would let the writers have that artistic freedom, but he's gonna make sure that the core of the character remains. What makes that character is gonna remain. He's not gonna have like,
because he does understand understand it. Yeah, I agree with you. Who else would you pick?
If we're talking D, that's a hard one. If we're going straight DC,
because Jeff Johns was supposed to be that guy.
He was supposed to be that guy, yes,
and he fucked it all up, and then made Cyborg quit. Which Ray Fisher is having a field day on Twitter, just roasting these guys.
Really, who cares? Because he was a boring cyborg, anyways.
Oh yeah, his cyborg sucked. But I don't wonder if that was mostly
it sucked.
Was mostly Joss Whedon's fault.
Nah, it sucked in the Whedon version, and it sucked in the Snyder cut. All they did was give him a little bit more backstory, but he still was sucky. So,
how about Will Wheaton?
I
know, I'm just kidding. That was a total joke. Oh man, but Will Wheaton is a true fanboy, or girl.
See, I honestly don't know who to put in there, because if you put one of these guys that do the comic books, they just know the comic books. They're gonna write like they write for the comic books.
Well, that was Jeff. Well,
no,
Berlanti's responsible for the CW thing, in which the Berlanti, his shows have great first. For the first 2 seasons are really good, and then they just kind of go downhill. Jeff Johns was supposed to be that guy because Jeff Johns was a comic book writer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was their editor-in-chief or whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? I believe so.
Like, but I mean, you get comic book writers that are writing movie scripts all the time, like Scott Snyder and all these big writers. But
they don't have the movie. They don't have the movie acumen. Is what I'm like. Yeah. Kevin Feige does. Kevin Feige is a fan of the Marvel stuff, but he has the movie acumen. It's like Jon Favreau. He's a Star Trek fan, but he has that movie acumen. Jeff Johns, Berlanti. Berlanti might a little bit, but Berlanti.
Did you say that Favreau was a Star Trek fan?
Star Wars fan.
I was like, I don't remember any Favreau Star Trek movies.
It's not like J.J. Abrams that just comes in and sees a franchise that's ripe for the picking. Like he has the movie acumen, but he just jumps into every franchise and kind of just recreates what's already been done. You know what I mean? Like Jon Favreau actually, like The Mandalorian is probably the best thing that Disney has come out with in the Star Wars universe.
See, I disagree though, because he did exactly what he needed to do, honestly.
Abrams?
Yes, with The Force Awakens, he did exactly what he needed to do. He got you re-energized about Star Wars. Yeah.
See, and I
it
don't
was just
think...
a retelling, of the previous movies, but it with new characters, but it got everybody jonesed about Star Wars again.
I think that people would have went to see Star Wars no matter who made it.
Sticks, you're the Star Wars guy. I don't know about that. I feel like the pulse was on his last legs with Star Wars before.
I I don't want to say that would be true because I think J.J. Abrams for the first movie was good. Yes, it was beat for beat on previous stuff.
There was nothing original about it, really. Like,
well, it's like turning Shakespeare. You know, you take the basis of what Shakespeare has, and then you turn it into what you want it. It's the same thing, but it's different.
Yeah, but they take Shakespeare. Well, are you talking about like when Hamlet comes out and then somebody else makes Hamlet?
Hamlet
or Romeo and Juliet, and then Leonardo DiCaprio comes into it, and it turns into whatever that was.
Well, but it's not like they're saying this is the sequel to Romeo and Juliet, and then they're coming out with the same movie. You know what I mean?
Right, but it's taking that basis.
Yeah, I guess.
And using it. Now, I don't know who at that time, or now I would hire in. Now, I know Lucas had scripts already written that he wanted them to
but
use.
his whole thing was lot like the Quantum Realm with Ant-Man.
It was different.
Yeah.
I've never read it, but I know I've heard it was different. Yeah. I don't know. I still would have gone to see it. Whoever would have done it. So maybe they're sitting there as a fan of Star Wars. Yes, I would have gone to see it because it was branded Star Wars. So there you go.
But yeah, I think to most people though, like Star Wars was on it after the prequels. The Star Wars was kind of on its last legs, and then the Abrams kind of re-energized the Star Wars community as far as the casual.
The one thing I'll tell you, when Force Awakens came out, I didn't foresee a trilogy. I just thought it would be a one-off telling of a story, and that would be it.
Yeah.
I think that's what the studio kind of thought too. And then they said, crap, we made a shit ton of money. Pump another one out.
Well, and then you go to give it to Brian Johnson, who doesn't know anything about Star Wars, and they're like, yeah, just go ahead and do what you got to do. You know, don't worry about what Abrams did. Go do what you got to do.
I mean, much like Star Wars, the ending was kind of definite, right? The planet blows up, and that's it. There wasn't a cliffhanger like in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So apparently Elon Musk is a big DC fan. I think Elon Musk needs to wiggle his way into Warner Brothers now that he's in Twitter.
He can do it. Elon can do
it. I would sign off on that, actually. I think Elon Musk could do some awesome things with the DC universe. It's a smart dude right there. I don't know. I don't know. Kevin Smith, it seems like a logical choice. I just don't think that they'll do it.
Well, sticking on the DC universe side of things, Stephen Amell says that Never Say Never with his return to Arrow, but if he's going to return to the Arrowverse, he wants it to be more darker and bloodier.
I would be okay if he returned to Arrow, but it was a reboot. Like he could like a soft reboot. Like even if they like recast Supergirl and bring Gustin. Well, I don't know. It depends on the tone of it, but Stephen Amell I love him like as Oliver Queen too. I mean, he's what started this whole thing. His show kind of went off the rails the last few seasons, but I'm here for it. I'd be even okay if they cast Stephen Amell as the live action Green Arrow with in the Peacemaker and all that stuff that they're doing. Like, I think he was great.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see him in more of a more traditional Green Arrow role.
Yeah. Now, if you asked, say we weren't talking about the Flash, say Ezra Miller was Green Arrow, right? I'm just saying hypotheticals. He would never be Green Arrow, and he was getting fired, and they would say, just bring Stephen Amell in. I'd be 100% on board for that. Grant Gustin does not offer me that same amount of comfort.
I think he does.
And that's
me.
fine. That's fine. I mean, I could be totally wrong. It's hard for me to come to that point.
It's just like the Batman argument. Everyone has their guy that they want to see, or I think that's just that it's the comparison, man. Like you have the two Flashes, and you look at it and who played the character better? all right, I don't think you're looking at it as necessarily who fits in that universe. It's who played the character better. All right, Grant Gustafson looks like he plays that character better, so he's gonna go ahead and play that push on through, and you get him in there because it's what it's you've already seen him play it. You like that he plays it better than Ezra, so you're gonna keep running with that.
I just think that there's probably even better options. For
maybe.
And maybe what they'll do is they'll come out with this movie with Ezra Miller because they pumped a bunch of money in it, so it's gonna come out. And maybe they turn it and they bring Wally West in or something, and that's the future. I mean, that's what Marvel's doing right now.
Yeah,
Marvel is Robert Downey Jr. is gone. They're bringing in Ironheart. Kate Bishop's now there, and Jeremy Renner will eventually leave, and all these people. It looks like they're positioning Ned to be the next Doctor Strange from what it looks like. I mean, there's this new regime coming in. Why not Wally West?
Well, I mean, yeah, they could completely go away from you're right. They could go with the Wally West Flash, and I'd be okay with that.
And then that would seem just like a seamless transition,
I think at this point, DC wise, anything standalone with a new creative team, new direction, new everything is gonna do far and beyond anything that's tied to the Snyderverse is gonna do.
But here's the thing, James Gunn. Technically, his movie is within the Snyderverse because Rick Flag and Harley Quinn, like there's a lot of and in this Peacemaker show we see the Ezra Miller and what's Aquaman's name? Jason Momoa come in. I mean, obviously his movie is in that universe and he knocked it out of the park.
Well, he knocked it out of the park with Peacemaker.
Suicide Squad was
good, but the bar was so low that just being good makes that movie great. So,
Yeah.
he didn't have much to blow away. Now, if you look at his two superhero projects, if you look at his first outing with the Suicide Squad and his first outing with Guardians of the Galaxy, which one's better?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
But Suicide Squad is better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I think they're on the same level.
I don't know. I'd much rather watch Suicide Squad.
Footing. Nobody said Hudson Hawk fucking ish. Nobody. Nobody said Hudson Hawk.
Oh, by the way, Styx told me he would be leaving. He's going to come back.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I think right now it's all hypotheticals. The entire landscape of the DC universe is going to change. I think the only thing at this point that we can be 100% confirmed on is that they're going to retain James Gunn. I think that's the only thing that we could.
Stupid not to.
And John Cena, like that's the only thing that we can be 100% on.
What's the success of Peacemaker? They'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we know for certain is going to carry it forward. Unless Peacemaker Season 2 just completely bombs, right? Which it won't. If I hope it doesn't.
I don't think if it carries over the same creative team and John Cena comes back and the whole cast is back for Season 2, I think it's going to be just as good as Season 1, if not better.
What do you think of James Gunn being that stalwart, that captain of the ship?
I don't think he's I don't think he's like that guy. Man, like he's a good director and he can work within the realms of what you give him, but I don't think he's that guy to lead. I don't think you need someone who is a true producer through and through, like Feige. Like you don't see Feige out there trying to write scripts. You don't see Feige out there trying to direct movies. Feige's job is to consult and make sure that the right pieces are in place for what's going to be in the best interest of Marvel and Disney. And that's kind of what DC needs, is they need that non-director, non-writer kind of true producer through
movie professional that's a fan.
Yeah. And I think that, like I said, if Kevin doesn't write, if he doesn't direct,
and I don't think that'll last.
Just strictly for being a consultant,
the captain. He'd be the captain.
I think.
But I
works,
think
man.
he would get bored of that role. I think he would eventually want to write.
I don't think so, because he came out and said that he loves these movies. He loves living in this realm. So if you give him that option to continue to live in that realm and see these characters go from, I mean, he was a comic. He's written comic books. He's written Batman stuff. He's written Daredevil stuff. He's written one of the best Green Arrow stories in Green Arrow Quiver. You know, he understands these characters.
Yeah,
he understands. I know it's debatable with some people on his Batman stuff. Like, I like some of his Batman stuff.
Yeah, Cacophony is kind of, it has its fans and its.
Well, I love Cacophony just specifically for the end conversation between a lucid Joker and Batman, where Joker basically says, I don't hate you, you know, I hate you because of who you are, you know, like,
yeah,
it's, I like that conversation that they have and his storytelling. But like I said, I think if strictly on a advisory role, Kevin would kill it.
I agree. Until he advocates for hiring Jason Mewes as the Flash.
That'll never happen. Will Mewes show up in movies? Probably, but is he going to hire him?
He'd be like the
Flash?
Bruce Campbell in Sam Raimi's movies.
Yeah, or he would just be like he'd be like the Stan Lee of the DC verse, where he just shows up or has like a small cameo in every DC movie that they
How
put
many
out,
DC fans do you think would actually be like, who the fuck is this?
A lot.
Because like the Askew-niverse, I mean, it has its fans, but it is still kind of, it's not the biggest thing on the planet.
Not by any means.
Jay and Silent Bob, it's not.
Not by any means.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But I mean, that's what Kevin does, though. Is he's that kind of that bridge, man, because he expands into different genres. He's been in music videos, he's been in movies, he's been in TV with Degrassi, he's done the Goldbergs. You know, he's kind of just been all over the place, where he can kind of branch into these different genres and fits right in. So I just think that, honestly, if you're looking for someone, if he would take the role like I said, in a pure producer advisory role, he's that guy.
Yeah. I agree. I think he'd be great. I don't think it'll happen, but who knows, dude? It's a whole new regime over there. Whole new CEO, whole new AT&T is not involved whatsoever. By the way, AT&T bought Warner Media for $85 billion, sold it for $49. I just confirmed it.
And I'll tell you that watching the documentary that Kevin Smith put out about him making his superhero movie, his Superman movie.
Where is that? I don't think I've seen that.
It was online. It came out a few years ago. It was online.
That's not the Tim Burton one, right? He wasn't involved with that.
Yeah, it was the Nick Cage one. Yeah, he was one of the writers.
Was he?
He was
really?
He was hired to like fix the script. Yeah,
Superman Lives, right?
Yep. And
I need to watch that.
He made me want to see that movie. Like, I always made fun of it. Like, look at this stupid suit. Nick Cage would have been terrible. But after watching that documentary and what he said he wanted to be in the movie, it makes me want to see that movie. But it's never going to happen. But I just think, like I said, purely advisory role, Kevin would be the guy I would think could handle it.
Now, what they should do is Kevin Smith should try to get that animated movie. Like, take the premise, take everything they were going to do, animate it, have the actors come in, do the voices. Nick Cage doing the voice of Superman. Why not? They should do an animated version of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. What's next?
We've beaten DC to death. Black Widow, man. It's sad to say that kind of abruptly out of nowhere, Marvel announced with the newest issue of Black Widow. I want to say it was Black Widow 15. With the newest edition of Black Widow, they announced that the series is abruptly coming to an end.
Now, why does it say our legendary run is ending for now?
Because this has been one of the biggest, like, this Widow book has been one of the hottest books.
It's an Eisner Award winner.
Yeah, it's got a lot of buzz behind it, and there's a lot of, I want to say there's a lot of like behind the scenes politics that aren't exactly being talked about. Because the writer here, trying to think of her name, Kelly Thompson. Yeah, Kelly Thompson, the writer of this book. She kind of did a Q&A a little bit, and people were asking her questions about the book, and she kind of like dances around it. Like she says, like, I hate that I can't talk about this. I hate that I can't tell you what's going on, but I can't talk about it. And there's still a lot of things in play, and there's still a bit more story here. But right now, for now, this book is ending. And then she said, our legendary, and this was in the back of Black Widow 15, says, our legendary run is ending for now. We could not be more grateful to the collaborators who made this book extraordinary and the fans who picked up our book monthly after month. From the very first day I sat down to write next to Kelly at an editorial retreat and said, so what about Black Widow? To the day we got Estabada Demeca on board to ink.
What did you just say?
I butchered that name so bad.
Elisabetta D'Amico.
Elisabetta. There you go. I'm white. I'm just a big old white. All right. I've known we had a special.
That's my aunt's name, actually, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Not Elisabetta, but Elizabeth.
We've become a close-knit group, and this is a bittersweet feeling to see our collective work realized here. Kelly Thompson, blah, blah, and the creative team. So it says, who knows what's next? Until then, true believers stay sharp and wear black. So, and she said when she was asked, she was asked, is this the final issue for now? And she said, I'm sorry, I haven't been able to talk about it a lot, and have been asked, and it is deeply paining me to keep on passing on this question, especially since this book I love so much, maybe my favorite book I've ever done at Marvel. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes, and it's not always something you could talk about publicly. To be honest, I still can't talk about much as I'd like, but what can I say is there are plans for a bit more story for this creative team. Things are being wrangled, but I'm optimistic it'll all work out and it'll be worth the wait. So nobody really knows what's going on, and it's kind of weird that this book just abruptly ended.
Yeah, and 15 issues seems like a very short run.
Yeah, especially since it's a popular book. It's an Eisner Award winner. They've had covers where people have been searching for this book for, and it's weird. It's weird for a book to just end so abruptly and everyone be so hush hush. So I don't really know what's going on with it, or what kind of like behind the scenes politics are going on, or discrepancies, but all signs point to Black Widow 15 that just came out being the final issue of this story, of this run. So
that sucks.
We'll see what's happening. I don't know if it's because Marvel's pivoting and they're going to try and do away with Natasha Romanoff and come back
with Yelena.
With Yelena to kind of pivot more towards what they plan on doing with the movies. I don't know if they're going to shelve this book, this title for a while to kind of let you forget about Natasha Romanoff a little bit and then come back with Yelena. Who knows? But it just sounds like it's very odd that they just scrap a book. If it's not selling, if it's a book that's not selling and
makes total
not
sense.
Good, it makes total sense in the book abruptly. But it just a book that's like I said, an Eisner Award winner that sells regularly, that people are talking about,
clamoring for it. Sounds
clamoring for it to just abruptly ended it. It screams like there's something on the back end
going on
we're not being privy to.
And it sucks too, because when I'm looking for an all-female team, there's not many of those in comics, right? All-female writing teams.
Yeah,
like that seems like a pretty prolific thing. Like to just cancel it,
writer, inker, yeah,
like that's pretty incredible, dude. That's pretty awesome. I told you, Matt, last week I took my daughter to a concert, right? To a punk rock concert at MXPX, and there was this band playing called Bad Cop, Bad Cop. And my daughter got so excited because the entire band is women. It's a punk rock band. It's all girls.
Did you turn to your daughter and go, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?" Bad cop, bad cop.
No, but it to see the joy on her face, to see an all-girl group go up there and prove to her that girls can do these things too. Like, it makes me proud as a father that I live in a time where there's role models like this that are doing things that traditionally have been guys, right? Like,
because we didn't have that when we were kids.
We did not have that. Well, Spice Girls, that's a pop group. This is a punk rock band.
Kitty, a heavy metal all female band.
Yeah, but there were examples of that. I don't even know who Kitty is. And I'm a musician.
You've never heard of Kitty?
No, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
I remember Hole.
I remember Hole.
Right, Hole is another one, but you grew up in a time of like Blink 182 and
I have
Kitty
no idea
and
what
Slipknot
Kitty is.
and oh my god, dude. Okay.
Is it Kitty? Send it to me later and I'll listen to it. I probably do know who it is. I just not.
It's Kitty.
But I mean, there was happening, but nowhere near to the level of what it's happening today, where it's so easily accessible for my 10-year-old daughter, and with Logan, who's going to be of that age in a few years, where she's going to start noticing, women in positions of, creative positions or athletes or whatever. Like, it's just become more of a thing, and there's more examples to them now, I feel, than when they were kids. Like, before, back in the day, like, the female singers that everybody knew about were the Spice Girls or Alanis Morissette, or they were all pop or pop rock or whatever. Like, they fit this certain mold.
Solo says, Lance, you're podcasting. That should prove to your daughter that girls can do whatever they set
Fuck
their minds
you,
to.
Solo. But no, it honestly brought a tear to my eye how excited she was, and she got to meet them after the show. They gave her a bunch of free shit because she was so excited to see, because all the bands, the majority of the bands I listen to are men, right? And she knows it.
You're missing the mark with Mariah Carey. Like, we're talking like prolific, like all girl groups. We're not talking about like standalone singers.
But those were the female examples, right? Where Mariah Carey,
Bette Midler, Celine Dion.
Yeah, they were single solo pop singers or whatever. Like, these were, honestly, the women had more success in those genres than the men did, you could argue. Spice Girls was a million times bigger than the Backstreet Boys. Spice Girls they had their own movie. Spice Girls had a fictional movie.
World. Yep.
Where they put a bomb on a bus. That's all I remember.
Colors of the World, spice up your life.
Yeah, Spice Girls.
Spice up your life.
Spice Girls was prolific, but it was a pop group. And that's what all the women, or country singers, or whatever, Shania Twain and things like that. They weren't in punk bands. But I mean, not any that anybody really heard about besides Courtney Love, and Hole wasn't that big.
But you have no doubt, like, yeah, it's not a full female band, but Gwen Stefani was a huge role model for girls back then. But then she eventually she did not have the success that she had until she went into Amy.
pop.
I'm thinking
Amy
from
Lee.
From Evanescence.
Mm-hmm. Then that was a huge thing too, but they were few and far between.
Then you got Paramore.
See, and Paramore, I could say, is part of this new generation that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Pussycat Dolls.
That's a pop group.
Pussycat Josie Dolls and the Pussycats, dude, man.
Which honestly, I put on the soundtrack the other day for Josie and the Pussycats because I watched a TikTok video talking about how bad that movie was, and I'm like, holy shit, it was a bad movie.
Love Scary Spice, my first tingles. That dude, Ginger Spice was my first tingles, bro. I'll be honest.
Hey, Sticks, guess what? Suns won.
What?
The Suns beat Utah.
Suns end up winning? Yeah.
Yeah, 111 to 105. They were down by like 25 at one point. Just find a way to win. Find a way to win.
They don't need to.
They're
already locked up first place. They can just Devin Booker and Chris Paul and all their stars could just not play for a month and it's still.
Well, they only have one or two games left now, but I still don't like losing. Who likes
But anyways,
losing?
Back on topic. I think there's a lot of female bands out there that you could look at. Like,
I just say there's more of them now. There's more of them. Like I could name at least 4 or 5 all female punk groups that my daughter's into that just all female, like the drummer, the guitarist, the singers, like female front to back, like not even Paramore.
I like
or
female front to back. Throw it out there.
I mean, I can remember back in the day when like New Kids on the Block came out, and like you got like 15 other New Kids on the Block groups.
They had a bunch of hits.
To be like them.
That Chinese food made me sick. I'm just gonna see how many of these I can do.
Oh man.
Anyway,
yeah, new kids, and then that kind of New Kids, and they had
98.
Boys to Men, like that. New Kids and Boys to Men were about the same time period, right?
I mean, even Boys to Men had a decent career, like 98 Degrees, but you'd get other guys that came out that didn't amount to crap.
NSYNC was probably
one-hit wonders.
NSYNC, what I would say is probably NSYNC was huge for many years. NSYNC, I would say, is probably the most successful all-boy pop band.
Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC sold more records than Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys are still doing it.
But think about NSYNC also. You can also use NSYNC to I mean, Justin Timberlake became one of the biggest pop stars in the world after NSYNC, and that nobody in Backstreet Boys can say that.
True.
NSYNC was Backstreet Boys was like the first of like the 90s, right? And then that kind of spawned off NSYNC and 98 Degrees and O-Town, but NSYNC was fucking huge.
Fucking say.
My God.
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys made girls tingles. Yes.
What's next, dude? I feel like we've been harping on this for a while.
You
like this little graphic that I made?
Fatigue. Yeah, that's nice.
Who is that?
It's some dude sleeping on the couch with a remote. That's the only picture I could find that kind of like exemplified what I was trying to say
guy,
here.
Picture number 512.
Okay. Right. That didn't have a giant like Shutterstock watermark across it.
Yeah, right.
So apparently there's fatigue when it comes to streaming
a new
services.
Nelson report reveals that viewers are becoming fatigued with the sheer number of streaming services available, each offering different selections of TV series and films. And I agree with this. Like, it really
it grinds my gears.
I was just about to say that. But like, I still subscribe to satellite, so I still have basic TV. But that was the whole thing about streaming services. It was like a la carte TV, a la carte. But like, I wish there was just one thing I could pay for that you got everything on, like every big, like I don't know. Like, I hate having to own Disney Plus for shows. I hate having to own HBO Max for stuff. I hate having to own Netflix. I hate having to own Apple TV for like a few things, like because I only watch a few.
The
shows
one thing though, the Apple TV is only $5.
Yes, I understand. But
and Prime Video, most people have it for the shipping benefits, right?
Like I'll be honest with you, I only use Peacock for wrestling. So I'm like, every time Peacock comes out of my bank, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I own Peacock. I haven't watched that in a long time. Disney Plus I watch for the Star Wars and Marvel stuff. And yeah, I guess now that I have a kid, it's nice to have all that extra.
Oh yeah, Disney Plus is going to be, it's going to consume your television in a couple
Apple
years.
TV,
dude.
I only pay for it because I'm obsessed with
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, yeah.
Dude,
HBO
by the way,
Max.
there's a new show on Apple TV called The After Party, which is fucking hilarious. You need to watch it. And Mythic's Quest is really good too.
Out of all the stuff, like I think I use HBO Max the most.
Yeah, it used to be Netflix was like dominant, but Anna and I have been talking about recently canceling our Netflix. I mean, I think all it's used for now is Cocomelon. Pay $20 a month for
Gotcha.
fucking Coco Melon.
They
You know,
probably
or my,
got they probably got that in some free streaming service somewhere.
oh yeah,
like on-
yeah. But my daughter watches Sam and Cat, which is I think it's a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, that show's been canceled.
Yeah.
That show was canceled years ago.
Yeah, but they watch some
Yeah.
of the old stuff, right? Which really, if I went on to Vudu or Prime and just bought the series, I'd probably save money
Yeah.
in the long run.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Netflix is $20 a month now.
Yeah.
Who
it's
the
getting
fuck do they think
insane.
there are? And they haven't really come out with anything good. like the good stuff that they're coming out with is hit or miss. I mean, the last thing I think Adam Project was pretty good, but before that, what was it?
Squid Games.
And that was a few months.
Mm-hmm.
Like Disney Plus, at least, like it seems like every 3 weeks there's another show that I'm like, oh, I need to watch this.
Yep.
You know, HBO Max, even HBO Max, I mean, it's basically used to watch Friends. And then Peacemaker will come out and I'll watch Peacemaker, but there's not enough there. Paramount Plus, I use it for Yellowstone in 1883, and then really nothing else. Prime Video, The Boys. Prime Video has some good stuff, actually.
I think the last
it's
thing
just
I
few and far
watched on
between.
Prime Video was Invincible.
Oh, I watched Marvelous Miss Maisel. It was a great show. Great show.
But I just
So,
I just wish
so
there
except
was-
for Apple TV. Except for
Apple TV,
I have
Apple
all
TV
these.
actually, I would say Apple TV, what they're coming out with, I don't think they've come out with anything that's been like bad.
I don't know, that new Joseph
I've-
Gordon-Levitt show is pretty bad.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't have Apple TV. Maybe I should try it.
Apple TV, and it's cheap, dude. It's $5 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's what
But-
I pay for. Like said, that's what I pay for Peacock. So
Yeah, in Peacock, you're paying $5 a month, but you get commercials, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Apple TV, no commercials. So it's
But what
actually
I like
a
about Apple
better
TV
deal.
too is the fact that it's integrated. Like if you have Apple devices, it's integrated in all your devices. So, you know, it's just you can watch it anywhere. You don't have to have a separate app for Netflix and HBO Max and Paramount Plus and Disney and like I wish there was one subscription to all these different services and you could like choose what you want to watch. Like
I think it'll come. I do think it'll come because Disney was the shepherd when it came to the Movies Anywhere app, where they said, okay, Vudu, Fandango, Prime, Apple, if somebody uses a code for your Blu-ray movie or someone buys a movie on iTunes, let's allow it to appear on all of their subscriptions. So if I buy a movie from Prime Video, it's also on my Netflix account. It's also in my Microsoft account with Xbox. It's also like it's everywhere, right?
on your YouTube
And that's
account.
Movies Anywhere. Disney created that Movies Anywhere app. I feel like that they could do the same thing with the streaming service. Let's charge everybody one flat fee or some sort of a la carte thing. You have them come all in one place, one app. We'll share, you could do an ad thing. We'll share ad revenue.
but you know what you become then?
Huh.
Cable
Cable.
television.
Yes. Except the entire thing would be on demand. Right? Everything that they offered would be on demand rather than, having to wait for something to it was
see,
a little
I'm
different than
still-
Hulu,
I'm still one of those old school guys. Like I like to watch it as it airs on TV, or I'll wait until it's over and then rewind it for no commercial, so I can fast forward the commercials. But I don't want to wait a day for it to come out on streaming. Or
See,
a
and I'm
month for it to
fine.
come out
I'm
on
fine
streaming.
waiting for a day. I mean, honestly, the only reason I have YouTube TV, which are kind of pissing me off now because most of the games I have to watch on the Bally Sports, the Suns games I have to watch on the Bally Sports app, which technically you pay for, Matt. But I only have it for sports and Resident Alien because that's the one show that I'm like, I need to watch this when it comes out. I mean, very, very seldom is there a show that I'm like, I have to watch this right now. Supernatural was that show for me. I had to watch it right when I would sit through the commercials. But I don't know. I think there's opportunity here because I do think that people are going to start being a little bit selective over which ones they're paying for, or they might use Netflix for a month, cancel it, sign on to HBO Max, use it for a month, cancel it. Disney Plus is the only one that I think has lasting. Disney and Prime, because Prime has that added benefit of the Amazon. Disney Plus, I think, is one of the only ones that has that lasting. People would carry a subscription forever. A, because it's cheap, and B, because Disney has the largest library out of any of these.
I don't know. I think HBO Max is in that category too, though, because you have Friends and
maybe. But
like,
when that contract's up, they could lose
good...
Friends. They could lose Friends when that contract's up. And
there's a lot of good stuff on. Like, I'm surprised Friends wasn't on Peacock, because Peacock is, NBC is where it started. So
I think with NBC, Peacock, because HBO Max has Friends and they have Big Bang Theory, which Big Bang Theory is a CBS property, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that with Peacock, they took The Office back from Netflix, right? Because they own that. But I think that it was just a matter of testing the waters. NBC is probably the smallest company out of all of these. I think because the big ones are Netflix, Disney, and Warner are the three big ones, and Amazon, of course, but for other reasons, right?
HBO has boobs.
So does Prime and Paramount and Netflix. But HBO Max with Warner Media, Netflix, and Disney are the three big media companies, right? Apple and Prime are totally separate, but Peacock is the smallest out of any of these, and I think that they were just kind of trying to see, they had to create revenue by selling off the front, because Warner Media paid NBC to air
big
Friends.
money for Friends. They paid big money for Friends, and big money for South Park.
South Park is the other one. South Park, Comedy Central is on Paramount.
Yeah, well,
but they don't have South Park.
South Park's reverting back to Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
They're taking South Park back.
But Paramount doesn't have Big Bang Theory, which Big Bang Theory is probably, you have The Office, which was one of the biggest shows of the 2000s. You have Friends, which was the biggest show of the 90s. And Big Bang Theory could probably be that number 3, right? When you talk about large TV shows, Big Bang Theory was huge. Nowhere near what Office and Friends were, obviously, but it was huge. It's a big property.
Do you know the property that HBO Max sold me on? You know what's on there that I watch rather frequently?
Harry Potter?
Doctor Who.
Oh, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Do they have? Yeah, because they have a BBC. See, that's the thing I was wondering. They have Doctor Who. That's a BBC thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Disney has some BBC stuff.
Disney has, they do have some.
Like they have Bluey, which is a big show my kids watch.
No, I think that I think they have some ITV stuff.
Well, Bluey I know is BBC.
Bluey is BBC, yeah.
Yeah, which Disney has, because my kids watch it all the time. And that, by the way,
co-produced by
is it co-produced?
I believe so.
By the way, Bluey might be one of the funniest toddler shows I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know if that's a toddler show. I mean, my toddlers watch it, but my older kids are into it too. Fucking hilarious, that show.
Well, Disney has some BBC stuff too, because they have they own Hulu, and Hulu has Misfits on it. And Misfits was, I think it's IG4 or whatever they call that channel there, but
Netflix has IT Crowd, right?
BBC property, yeah.
Netflix has IT Crowd, which is a fucking great show.
Disney has all the BBC nature programs, David Attenborough and all that.
Yeah. So it must be Disney's just. It must be BBC's just selling properties to these streaming services, which makes sense. I'm sure BBC probably has their own streaming network in these other countries.
They have BritBox. There's BritBox, but they don't have everything on there.
Yeah. Can we buy BritBox here?
Anything that PBS had is on BritBox.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
HBO Max just got Sesame Street. That's a huge draw.
Well, HBO's had Sesame Street for...
Yeah, HBO's had Sesame Street for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
I don't know. They need to come out with some solution because I spend more on streaming services than my cell phone bill.
Well, I spend more time just surfing streaming services than I do actually watching anything on streaming services.
That's the one thing I like about like Roku. I can search within Roku for a show and it'll navigate me to the streaming service, or my Google TV. I can search for it in my Google TV and it'll navigate me to the streaming service. Amazon, the Fire Stick's a clusterfuck, dude. Like I can't even. It's hard to find things on. Even on Prime, I find it's hard to find things.
I mean, even nowadays too, with all the streaming services we have, I find that the Prime interface is the worst.
Yeah, dude. All I want to do, like when the first thing I go to on any of these streaming networks is I go to what has been released in the last week. Amazon Prime does not have that. You cannot see what they've come out with in the last week. And that's all I want because of like I checked it the week before. It's going to be different the week after. Netflix comes out with stuff every Friday? It's going to be different every Friday. So I go there, I check and see if something interests me. If nothing interests me, I move on to the next thing. Disney has a what's been just released. Paramount has that. HBO Max has that. Apple TV has that. Prime is the only one that doesn't have it. Prime has the worst, and it's exactly like the Fire Stick. They have the worst UI out of all of them. But I digress. Let's proceed. What do you think?
It's just, streaming service fatigue. It happens. I think a lot of people have it too because we've been locked in our houses for the last 3 years due to COVID, and you had nothing better to do than
I don't have anything on my watch list.
Yeah.
I've watched everything on my watch list.
On here, so it's no surprise that you're getting streaming fatigue after coming out of a pandemic. But I digress. This episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineering tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off a free worldwide shipping with the code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. Like we said earlier, Manscaped's a great product. Such a great product that Max took it overboard and almost shaved his complete body bare. He had a complete mental breakdown after doing it, and we had to, I had to go and shoot the squirrel that was in my attic to make him a merkin so he could at least feel a little bit more normal. He just got to lawn mowing with that lawnmower 4.0, and you know what he said to me in between sobs is, "I can't believe I still never nicked myself." It reduces the nicks. The lawnmower 4.0 is a great tool that reduces nicks and reduces the bleeding. It reduces the ouchies on your nether regions that you never want.
The itchies.
Yes. Max smelled like $1 million because he was using the ball deodorant, but he just got a little carried away and shaved up all of his nether regions, and we had to make him a merkin so he felt a little bit better. But
what's it called? The crop preserver? Is that the lotion? Crop preserver?
Which one?
Which one's the crop preserver?
I don't know. They've got the
lotion.
The ball.
I think it's called crop preserver, and that stuff's fucking awesome.
No, isn't that the ball deodorant? And there's the toner. It's the toner. It's the spray.
Oh, is that what it is? Something says crop preserver on it. I just don't remember what it is.
It might be the toner. I think it's the toner, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So Max, just so you know, we're not lying. Like Max would get through about 10 to 15% of his body hair. He'd have to throw it on the charger again. Then he'd get through another 10 to 15%. He had to throw it on the charger. So he put his clippers through the ringer, dude.
Yeah,
through the ringer. Had to charge it like 6 times to get through his entire body.
And he cried to me. He was like, "My wife gets mad when she comes in the bathroom and finds pubes on the sink." And I said, "Max, you don't have to worry about that because the Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof. You can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom sink and floor. No more pubes on the floor. You can do it right in the shower and get rid of all of those disgusting pubes right down the drain. They get flushed away with the Manscaped 4.0 lawnmower. So
yeah, in case you need a representation of what Max looks like now, let me pull this up here real quick. This is a picture Max sent me today of his new look.
Oh,
the naked mole rat. Yeah, right. Oh man, that was always my favorite part. Him and Ron.
And leftover Zaggy sitting here talking about the tingles. We've been talking about the tingles all night. Well, you want to talk about tingles like Lance was talking about? Let's talk about the Crop Preserver. The Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Your woman will thank you too. It'll give you the tinglies. You'll be smelling great. She won't be afraid to go downstairs for a little fun time, little backseat fun time in the car when you're wearing the Manscaped, because you didn't see I did the little hand thing too. So, get the Manscaped. Just don't go over top like Max. Don't shave everything off like Max. And when Max comes back, don't make fun of the fact that he's got, a merkin on and he's had to strategically super glue his hair.
A pube toupee.
Yeah. Back to his head. Like, let's not make fun of the man because he had a little bit of a trimmer obsession. He just went a little too far. It happens. I'm telling you, with the ease of all of these tools, it makes trimming and hygiene fun. And Max has got a little carried away. It happens to the best of us.
And don't be alarmed when he comes back next Friday and he has got a full, the man grows hair within like 15 minutes. So it's all gone and it comes right back. So he's going to come back next week.
That's right, your mom. No more pubes on the floor so you can clog your shower drains instead.
Dude,
Aaron has a funny story about, Aaron has a funny story about Manscaped. So with Manscaped, when you buy this package, you can get 20% off at manscaped.com plus free shipping when you use the promo code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com. But they gave us a beautiful t-shirt, like one of the most comfortable, like fabric feeling anyways, t-shirts ever. And it says Manscaped, of course, the logo, and on the back it says Manscaped, your balls will thank you. I gave that shirt to Erin, and she was wearing it at Target or at Walmart. Well, it was Target, wasn't it? It was either Target or Walmart. But she was doing something, and she said a guy screamed to her, "I have a Manscaped," from down the aisle. And she turned around and he had his hand raised like he was proud of it. And she was like, "Cool, man." And she told me all about it. So, there's
did she tell him the promo code?
Right? There's millions of men out there that are using Manscaped. So why don't you jump on the train and get 25% off by using code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com.
Honestly, we should ask him if we can get a shirt with our promo code on it. We'll wear that to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right. He was waving.
He was. She was excited. She told me all about it.
Good
she had
for
to
him.
call me and tell me about it.
Great products. Fantastic products.
Yep. It's time to take care of you and your balls. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with promo code AGeekPodcast. And I'm telling you, we are weeks away from Phoenix Comic-Con. If you live in the Phoenix area, hear me. We're weeks away from Phoenix Comic-Con. It is in the middle of May. We are only in April, and it's already been almost 100 degrees. You're going to sweat. Your balls is going to stink. Don't be the smelly kid at con. Get Manscaped. Get the ball deodorant. Get the ball toner so you can give yourself a little spritz. Carry it in your backpack. Give yourself a little
bring it
spritz
with
at the
you,
con.
please. Please bring it with you.
Everyone at the con will be thanking you. And maybe, you'll get a bit of extra loving at the speed dating when you're out there trying to find that special someone, Corbin. Corbin's like, "Look, man, I'm already on Manscaped. I've got this band. We've got this covered." So
I'm just saying. Now that he's on Manscaped, he'll probably have a little bit more luck at the speed dating round.
Moms and dads that listen to this podcast, if you have kids that are getting to that age, like my brother, when my little brother was like 13, he needed deodorant bad. His armpit smelled like Campbell's chicken soup, if you know what I mean. My mom, for the longest time, just denied wanting to get him deodorant, but he needed it. If I would have had an option to buy a Manscaped, I would have got him there and be like, "Listen, dude, you need to do something because you smelling funky."
Dude, funny story, dude. Can I just add to what you just said? Because I was just talking about it with my wife before the show. She gets an email from our kids' school that said, "Hey guys, it's getting hotter. We just want to make sure everyone remembers the dress code, and like it's okay to not dress as warm, but remember we do have a dress code. Also, make sure your kids bring deodorant with them to school because the smell is getting kind of not so good." An official email, dude.
The school's been like, "Look, motherfuckers, your kids stink. You got some stinky ass kids."
It was the funniest thing I've ever read, dude. It was awesome. Who says that?
Absolutely. If you're listening to this podcast right now and you're planning to go to Scottsdale Comic-Con tomorrow, Old Man Con, get out there, get yourself some Manscaped, get that express shipping. You probably won't get it by tomorrow, but I'm just saying, like, do the world a favor and shower.
Hey, we told them this last week. They had prep time.
Yeah, that's true.
They had prep time.
But, Old Man Con this weekend. Don't forget to check that out in Scottsdale and get yourself some Manscaped while you're at it. Your balls.
What time does that start at?
11, I believe. Your balls will thank you. Your wife will thank you. Your girlfriend will thank you. Your sister will thank you. Ida, the lady with all the cats downstairs, will thank you. And
smell travels down south.
Yeah.
So
maybe you'll get a little
downstairs
action.
neighbors.
Maybe, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but maybe there's a chance you spray a little of the ball toner on and you're walking down the street and some girl stops and looks back and goes, "Damn, you smell good." Yeah, Manscaped for kids. Boom, $1 million idea. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Manscaped, for being a good friend of the show.
I actually had a $1 idea for Manscaped today that's a little inappropriate because it involves cum, but
Fuck, dude.
just the white. Just if they had some cleanup wipes afterwards for guys or something, whatever. But it's essentially just
man. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's
essentially just baby wipes. You slap a Manscaped sticker on, but it's marketing, right? That's marketing, right? Anybody who's into marketing knows it's the same shit.
Man wipes.
In the kids section.
Manscaped the flamethrower.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Manscaped the coloring book.
Yeah, that's the next way it's gonna be, dude.
All right,
Manscaped the flamethrower to just fucking burn them roots. It might be a little dicey,
dude. I knew a kid in high school that used Nair on his nether regions.
Oh god.
Oh
no. And it burned him so bad, dude. He didn't come to school for like 4 days. I said, "Well, why the fuck would you put that down there?"
Never
for my sister.
Yeah. Not to mention like Nair on your nuts. Like there's got to be some like cancer possibilities there,
And listen, if you're the kind of guy, maybe your lady trims up and you don't, get the Manscaped 4.0 for her. She can have the trimmer. If you like the more natural, wild bush, wild beast, Yeti fucking lifestyle, then you can use just the ball cologne or, the toner or what, make your pubes a little bit softer, whatever have you. If you like to go in the 80s porn bush and she's more of the dirty little landing strip or, shaving it into like a bat signal or whatever she wants to do, you get the Manscaped for her, and it's a gift for both of you.
Oh man.
20% off Manscaped, promo code AGeekPodcast, manscaped.com. The world will thank you.
Get it today.
Yeah.
You got to do the point again. All right, what's next?
Not available in stores.
This will
not
never
available
happen.
in stores.
Can I just say this will never happen? I really don't think it will happen. Jim Carrey will come back to Ace Ventura if Christopher Nolan directs it.
What?
Yeah, I think he's just trolling, dude. But he said it.
Christopher Nolan, Ace Ventura, huh?
How long ago did he say this? Was it before he had the whole "I might retire" routine on Good Morning America this week?
It was recently. He did an interview with E! News. Carrey was asked about whether he would be willing to return
This was 12
some of
hours
his
ago.
classic roles in the future project, unless some genius person directs, and comes up with a completely new take on what's going on. You know, if Christopher Nolan came to me and said, "I want to make Ace Ventura real and want to do something, you know, something more interesting," then I might listen. But if you're for the most part, you know, after a certain time, there's no one calling, and not a cell in your body that is that person anymore. So you end up just imitating what you did in the old days. So basically, he's saying he's not the same Jim Carrey he was back in the Ace Ventura days.
Well, he learned from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Because the sequel to Dumb and Dumber, both of them, there was a prequel and a sequel. The prequel he wasn't in. The sequel was dumb. The sequel was dumb.
Yeah.
So he learned. You know, there's been clamoring for years about them revisiting the Cable Guy, and I'm like, dude, no, do something new. He's doing Sonic now, and it's fucking awesome.
He just did that Super Bowl commercial where he was the Cable Guy.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, that's a commercial. It didn't have Matthew Broderick in it, though.
No.
Which I thought was a miss.
I don't think Matthew Broderick, no.
But
I don't know. Getting Nolan to do a Ace Ventura, that's kind of like asking Francis Ford Coppola to come in and do a Kingpin movie.
Right.
Gangster war.
That would be fucking awesome. Are you talking about Kingpin from Marvel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kingpin.
Kingpin from the bowling movie.
Is that what you're which one are you talking about?
Kingpin from Marvel.
Because now I want Francis Ford Coppola to do Kingpin from Marvel, dude.
No, Kingpin from the fucking bowling movie.
Because that sounds fucking awesome. Do you not think that sounds awesome?
That'd probably be the one thing you probably get him on, I guess.
Or get Scorsese to do a Kingpin movie?
Scorsese. What would I get Scorsese to do?
I mean, that guy is like the king of like mafia type movies.
I guess he could do a gangster movie too. I mean, I never liked
he's done gangster movies.
Gangs in New York, but
oh yeah, but that one's like set in the old times, like
it's like 1800s Victoria.
Yeah. But dude, like imagine a Kingpin movie like as like Departed or something like the Kingpin meets Departed. Like that'd be fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I know you were trying to say a joke, but now I want it. Please give it to me.
One of those things that'll get stuck in your head. You know, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, when you said it, I was like, why is that funny? Even though both of them have said that Marvel movies are like a theme park. Yeah, this won't happen.
Yeah, but, you know, when you back up a truck full of cash, it doesn't matter what you're making.
That Disney money. There's that Disney money.
Any money, really.
Eat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
oh man, how much of a hypocrite would you look like if Martin someone's pissed off out there. If Martin Scorsese came and did a Marvel movie, how much of a hypocrite do you think he'd be labeled? The biggest ever?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would care.
No, because I think he's too big of a.
If it turned out to be like a cinematic masterpiece, I don't think anyone would care.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if it was dog shit awful, then they barely would say something.
Yeah, they'd forgive him.
You were right. You shouldn't have done it.
Right.
Oh man. All right, what's next?
From one sequel to another, director Kevin Smith, back on to Kevin, revealed that Clerks 3 is finished and that it is a gem of a movie. And originally it was posted that it was going to come out in July of 2022, but it is now slated for fall 2022. So hopefully we'll get a trailer soon. But I'm excited to take another trip to the VSQ universe and visit our old friends Dante and Randall and Elias again.
I'm here for it.
But I'm eager to see a trailer and see more about it.
I just hope it's better than Clerks 2. That's all I want.
I love Clerks 2.
Yeah, it fell flat for me.
I love Clerks 2, man.
Love Clerks, the first Clerks. Clerks 2 fell flat. And I think it's because I was expecting more of the first Clerks, and it's very different than the first one.
Clerks 1 is a masterpiece, dude. It's like you're trying to capture lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
After that.
Just Clerks 2.
Which one was black and white?
Clerks
the first one.
Was it one of them black and white?
Yeah,
the
the first
one.
Clerks.
The first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the second one was much more of a satirical comedy. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I never
it's,
saw the second one, or
There's a whole scene where
so.
someone's fucking a donkey, I think.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I was never
this
huge into
one
Clerks 2.
is supposed to be more of a like kind of like the same principle as Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Is this movie is them making the original Clerks movie. So it's like Dante telling the story of his life by them making the original Clerks movie. So
Hey, Kevin Smith found something that works. Keep on doing it.
I guess. We'll see.
I mean, J.J. Abrams is doing it.
Can't wait to see more.
All right.
It's all Shakespeare.
So, right? I tried to find something that was a Batman Doctor Strange thing, but Doctor Strange kicked the shit out of Batman in movie ticket prices this last week.
Yep. Early ticket sales for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness have far surpassed the record set by Warner Brothers, The Batman, within the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
I've already bought my tickets. I've got my tickets for Thursday opening night.
So I logged into the AMC, and this is kind of a knock on AMC theaters. I logged in. They make you sit in this thing like you're next in line or whatever. You sit there, selected my seats, pressed checkout, crashed. Did it again.
Yeah.
Luckily, those seats were still there. Crashed. And I said, okay, well, it looks like AMC's not working. Tried a couple hours later. Same seats were there. Tried it again. Crashed. Could not buy them from AMC to save my life. I tried it on the phone. Tried it on the computer. It just kept crashing. Finally, I was able to get it from Fat Cats. Dude, it's not close to me. AMC's not close. The only reason I like AMC is I'm a Stubs member, so my ticket, I don't have to pay for it. That's covered in my monthly.
Yeah, I heard that's a good program.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. $20 a month, 3 movies a week at any other theaters. Dolby, IMAX. There's no extra surcharge. No. But it's not close to me, so I pass about 4 or 5 theaters just to get to the AMC theater. So it's not close, but it's worth it because Dolby is by far the most premium way to watch a movie in the movie theater. Yeah. Dolby is just amazing. But I got them from Fat Cats, luckily, which is just down the street from my house. Got right in the center of the theater, right in the center of the screen, because theirs came out like 5 hours after everybody else released their tickets. So I got them.
Mine today. And it's interesting. Harkins here is starting showings on Thursday. The movie doesn't technically come out till the 5th. They're starting showings on the 4th. Or no, sorry, the 6th. They're doing showings on the 5th.
Is that Thursday?
At 3 in the afternoon. Yeah.
That's when my viewing. I'm watching it Thursday.
That's when I'm going to Thursday at 7:30.
My theater had it at 11 in the morning on Thursday.
Jeez.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that. I don't want to go at night.
But just to put it in perspective, so the Batman open pre-sales did about $8 million. I just had it here. Did about $8 million within the first 24 hours when pre-sales went up. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has the numbers are suggesting 15 million plus in the first 24 hours.
Almost double.
Have been on sales.
Almost double. What did No Way Home do?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
I know that was last year, but it'd be. I wonder how close it was to
Doctor Strange is comfortably the second biggest non-Avengers pre-sale start. The exact numbers will take some time, but 15 million plus in 24 hours sales. Exact projections later, but set for a huge opening weekend, likely closer to $200 million opening weekend.
Do you know what the first is?
Endgame or Spider-Man? That's all I can think of. It's got to be one of those two. A Rogue One, as far as because he was saying the second Marvel, right?
Yeah,
no,
second biggest non-Avengers opening weekend.
So is it speaking just to Marvel or to all of them? Like Rogue One, like what Stick said.
This is of all the Marvel movies. It's the second biggest non-Avengers pre-sale start.
That's the Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so it's
this
not
is
including in game.
But they're comparing it to the Batman because this is the first two like real like other than Spider-Man post COVID, I guess you could say, theatrical releases, superhero releases.
I guess we're both.
So
Spider-Man did 35 million in pre-sale tickets.
So yeah, this even blew away Spider-Man. Well,
no, that's at 15 million.
15 million, yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man is still, but that's the entirety of the pre-sale.
But
There's still 3 weeks.
What did they do in the first 24 hours? Because this is saying that it's the second biggest non-Avengers, 15 million in 24 hours.
Says Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness tickets not as good as Spider-Man No Way Home. Is this article here, but it's not telling me.
Let's see. It reported Multiverse of Madness has already broken Fandango's record for first-day ticket sales in 2022, as well gaining the most first-day pre-sales since 2021 Spider-Man No Way Home. The epic first day of pre-sales for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness proves fans are beyond excited to experience all the thrills, chills, and blockbuster surprises Marvel Studios is known to deliver. So, there you go.
2.5 hours of fun.
Yeah, but it crushed the Batman in pre-sales.
Which is understandable. Batman is definitely not geared towards the younger fan base like the Marvel movies are. Like this is a movie that a majority of parents would feel more comfortable bringing smaller children to this than they would the Batman, just judging by the trailers alone. I mean, and the Marvel name. I mean, Marvel, people associate Marvel with Disney. So, like, I guarantee you're going to go to this movie, you're going to see 6-7-year-old kids there. I didn't see that at my Batman movie.
You don't think the zombies, like Zombie Strange?
Yeah, but it still has that Disney connection. You know what I mean? There's still that trust with Disney as far as, you know, I don't know. Batman looked pretty hard when the trailer came out. It looked like a hard film. Like I was shocked they didn't rate it. Well, after I saw it, I understand why they didn't make it rated R. But the trailer was trying to make you believe that it was an R-rated movie almost. You know, it was pretty dark.
Right.
But it looks like Zaggy's stood for Doctor Strange because it's just like Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange.
Well,
I'm excited, dude.
Part. I don't know. Guess he didn't like Batman.
I loved Batman, man. That was a great movie. But Doctor Strange, I think it's just going to be more of what we got from Spider-Man, where there's just going to be a whole bunch of. I mean, we already seen Patrick Stewart in the trailer. I mean,
we don't see him.
Well, we heard him.
You hear him.
You hear him, and you see the back of his head, right? I mean, because he's talking, you see the back of his head, and
you don't even see the back of his head; you just hear his voice.
No, he's talking.
I think we see,
Doctor. You see the back of his head when he's talking.
Unless it's a new trailer I haven't seen.
That's the original one. Doctor Strange is standing at the thing. You don't really see the back of his head. You see
you see the chairs
half.
they're sitting in. Yeah.
You see like the back half.
I think the IMAX trailer showed a little more of his.
Maybe that's the only one I've seen. I don't know. But when he's talking, Doctor Strange is standing like at a distance, and it's filming from behind somebody, but you see like the back half of this person's head, which is a bald man, so you can't really tell it's Patrick Stewart. But then when you hear the voice, you're like, oh, that's Patrick Stewart. But I mean, if he's in this movie, then the possibilities are endless. I mean, you could get Hugh Jack, and I haven't read anything. I don't know. I'm trying to stay far away from spoilers on this movie, but possibilities: Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire, you know, anybody from the X-Men universe. I mean, there's so many possibilities of people that could appear in this movie.
Yeah, not to mention. Oh, go ahead, Sticks.
Yeah, that last trailer, I was thinking when they show you the like who's going to be on the on the
panel
stage there for what might be the Illuminati. So there's the guy that walks across the stage and he's got a sword. And at first I thought it was going to be Blade, but now after seeing this last trailer, it's going to be Mordo. He's going to be one of the Illuminati,
but a different version of Mordo, right? Like this one's got.
Right.
I hear it's a multiversal version of Mordo. It's not the one that we know from the original movie.
Well,
I've
yeah,
heard
it's
John
a multiverse of
Krasinski.
madness.
I've heard John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I've heard Tom Cruise as Superior Iron Man. I've heard there's all these possibilities. I've heard Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine.
Yeah.
A lot of things have been thrown out there.
A lot of things. So I think you're going to get the same fan excitement, hopefully, that you got from. I mean, because the crowd will go. If Hugh Jackman's in this movie, the crowd's going to go berserk. You're going to get the same level of love from Hugh Jackman that you get from Tobey Maguire.
Zaggy's getting tingles.
Don't make me get the hose. But what's next? I'm excited for that movie, though.
Will Smith, his career is just plummeting since the slap heard around the world.
Do you like that picture I found?
Yeah, that does. That's funny. He has now since come out that they were developing a Deadshot movie that was shelved, and they're saying it was shelved before the slap, but they think the slap might have a lot to do with it. So he's lost DC's not moving forward with anything he's doing Deadshot wise. His biggest franchise in Bad Boy, Sony is not moving forward with Bad Boys 4 right now because of the controversy he's in.
Martin Lawrence is pissed.
Yeah, his popularity is plummeting. He's afraid that he's going to be canceled, and it just came out today that the Academy has banned him from all award ceremonies and Academy events for the next 10 years.
10 years, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't care though. He's got his Oscar. Like he's not getting his Oscar taken away. He won his Oscar, so he's sitting pretty. He don't care.
But so he can be nominated and he can win, but he can't show up to get it or be on any video to accept it.
Correct, or attend any Oscar or Academy.
Yep. You can't.
But do you think after 4 or 5 years that might get reversed? I don't think it's gonna be 10 years.
Dude, I think it's like 2 years and it's done. Like,
yeah, I mean,
nobody's gonna care.
10 years seems a lot to me.
Yeah,
2 to 3 years top. I thought he would get something. I didn't
10
think
years seems excessive. I mean, and really, like, what are you? He doesn't have to get all in his tuxedo and go to an award ceremony, but yet he can still win an award.
Yeah.
Yay! Is
he
what I
can
would
go to
say.
the after parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just can't be. They can't be associated or sponsored by the Academy. So, like any after parties, any award ceremonies that are Academy sponsored, he can't attend. But 10 years for a slap across the face, man. Ultimately, it doesn't mean shit though, because like he's got his Oscar, he can still be nominated. He just can't be there. And oh my god, big fucking deal there. I guess you don't get to cry on stage. Big whoop.
Which they're picking that whole acceptance speech apart because he apologizes to all these people, but not once apologizes to the dude he slaps.
Right. He's just gonna be the beacon for love, man. The vessel for love.
So all I had seen was the slap, of course, like everybody saw, and then I saw the a quick clip of the after thing. It was saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." What I didn't see was Chris Rock's response to that. Will Smith shouting it again, and then Chris Rock's response to that. I didn't see all that. So it went way further than even just a slap. I mean, on national television, the dude's shouting the F word.
Luckily, they were more attention to Twitter, bud. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I didn't see that stuff.
That was all over Twitter, man.
But like he's like, okay, dude, I will. Like, and then he says something about the greatest night in television or something like that. But that to me, like, proved to me that this whole thing wasn't fake.
It's
like,
the greatest moment in the history of television. Yeah.
Not to mention, Chris Rock has a disability, the nonverbal. It's linked to Asperger's, where he can't tell. He doesn't read physical cues as far as, you know what I mean, like folding your, like, 70% of a person's speech is through body movement, right? Or facial expressions or whatever. Like you can read a lot from a person based on what they're doing from their body and their facial expressions. He can't read those things. He doesn't. It doesn't click for him, right? So all it is the words that are coming out of your mouth. The other thing is that everybody has said he had no idea that Jada even had alopecia. He just thought this woman shaved her head. And the tamest of jokes too. A G.I. Jane joke, really? But I mean, I could understand if he went up there and said, "Hey, your wife's a bitch," blah blah blah, and then this happened. But he basically said a dad joke. He told a dad joke and got slapped across the face for it.
Well, I can understand it when, like you said, he's the laughing stock of the world right now because his wife basically just made him a giant cuck.
Yep. And she has sex with her son's friends.
Yep.
Like children. These are children. Because isn't her son 18 or something?
They're 18 and 19. I mean, they're
but when you're
adults,
in your 40s,
legally adults, but
yes, but when you're in your 40s and 50s, an 18-year-old is a child.
Hey man, when you're living that Hollywood lifestyle, it don't matter.
Still a child, dude.
That Hollywood lifestyle, son, it don't matter.
And I would not even put it past them. And I haven't read anything but there has been some other things that make me believe that this would be the case, that some of them might not even be 18, because these are the same two people that were allowing their daughter, who was under the age of 16, to sleep with a 22-year-old man.
Allegedly,
but there's a lot of proof to back it up. But
yes. So wait, Philip Smith physically assaulted a guy with a disability.
Yeah, a true disability, not balding. Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen that said about Chris Rock, so I don't.
Oh yeah, it came out. It came out 2 days ago. It's called NV. What's it called? Nonverbal what's it called? NVDS, I think is what it is, or something like that. NVLD, nonverbal learning disorder. Chris Rock is diagnosed with nonverbal learning disorder, and that came out in 2020 that he had this diagnosis. A friend suggested Rock had Asperger's, so he decided to look into it. Sure enough, after cognitive testing, at 55 years old, he got an answer. NVLD is hard to catch and is often missed until late adulthood. So nonverbal learning disorder is similar to autism and Asperger's. People with NVLD struggle with spatial learning and social cues. People with NVLD have strengths in vocabulary and verbal skills, which we know Chris Rock does. According to the NVLD project, these are some of the things people with NVLD can have trouble with: motor skills such as using scissors or tying shoelaces, social awareness, being able to stay focused, reading social cues, reading comprehension and word problems for math, handwriting, and lack of common sense.
It was a joke. Yes, at the end of the day, it was probably in poor taste, but
I don't even think it was.
Don't
if
slap
you don't
him,
know
man.
if you don't know somebody that this is something, if you just think somebody can, like, you're at the Oscars, everybody's making fun of everybody. I watched Amy Schumer completely insult Kirsten Dunst, right, on the same program. What she did with Kirsten Dunst was bad, not even being reported on, because obviously this is the headline, right? But this is what happens at the Oscars. Ricky Gervais, he did a bunch of other award shows and just completely dismantled Hollywood and made fun of everybody. Essentially called Leonardo DiCaprio a pedophile on these award shows. Yeah, but he attacked Leonardo DiCaprio specifically, saying like Leonardo DiCaprio brought his girlfriend here and broke up with her halfway through the ceremony or something like that because she became too old for him or something like that. Like he attacked Leonardo DiCaprio. But this is what happens at these award shows. You see somebody come in, they're sitting front row, dead center. She shaved her head. You have no idea that they're suffering from any sort of disease, right, or ailment or whatever. You think it's just someone that shaved their head, and you made a G.I. Jane joke. You didn't call her Gollum. You didn't call her Bruce Willis. Sorry, Bruce Willis. I know you have your own issues you're dealing with. You Like you said, G.I. Jane. Not to
He
mention,
almost called her Bruce Willis because Demi Moore was G.I. Jane. That was Bruce Willis's wife.
But here's the other thing: G.I. Jane is an empowering female character. If you've ever seen the movie G.I. Jane, that's an empowering female character. It's almost a compliment. I saw some comedian said, "How shitty does Demi Moore feel right now that this whole thing started because Jada Pinkett Smith was compared to Demi Moore?" It's just ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. Will Smith acted like a child. I totally agree with standing up for your wife, but this was not.
But in true Hollywood fashion, he got a little slap on the hand, and that's it. Because really, his punishment doesn't mean jack shit in the long run. He just can't appear.
Still has his little golden award.
Yep. He got his trophy, and that's all that matters. So who knows? But do you want to do the Marvel tier list, or
yes, we have time to do it, or
yeah, we can run through it.
Yeah.
Do a Marvel end credits tier list.
I had it pulled up and now it's gone. Oh no, here it is. It's on my other tab. There we go.
So we were talking about the Morbius trailer last week and how bad that end credit scene was, and then we got to asking what is the best end credit scenes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So go ahead and hit it, Lance. What you got?
I'm pulling it up. Now, hopefully, I did when I made this.
Fuck, nobody gives a shit about Hudson Hawk. Yes, none of this would have happened if Hudson Hawk had won the Oscar. Nobody gives a shit about Hudson Hawk.
So this is just Marvel end credit scenes, not DC. And there's a lot here. So I'm thinking
why'd you put
that
fucking Venom in there.
Not MCU, Marvel. Because Morbius is not Marvel or not MCU, right? Well, it is, but it's not. Right?
Well, I mean, you've got Deadpool in there, and
you got
X-Men. Basically every Marvel movie that had a post-credit scene.
Got it.
Yeah, just Marvel,
all
no
Marvel
DC.
Properties. Let's just say these are all Marvel properties.
Yes. Which took some time to research because I could not remember that some of these even had post-credit scenes. But let's start with how do you want to start this? Sticks. What should we do? Should we start with the Sony universe first? So we'll start with Venom and Carnage.
Sure.
So what happened at the end of Venom and Carnage? That was the Spider-Man reveal, right? Where you saw Venom in the screen and said, "Hey, I know this guy," or whatever, and kind of licked the screen. I think is what it was. Kind of dumb, right? It wasn't even a true Spider-Man cameo. And then it makes it even more dumb because if you saw the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, which the follow-up to that scene was essentially another post-credit scene that was kind of dumb too, right? In No Way Home with Venom. It did, however, allow Venom to be into the MCU because he leaves a little piece of himself behind. Where would you rank that, Venom and Carnage, on the tier?
Fucking Hudson Hawk had the best after credit stinger.
Did it?
No, it didn't. Hudson Hawk sucks. Face it, it sucks.
Where would you put Venom and Carnage?
Are you listening with one thing?
What's that?
Or are they both separate?
Well, Venom Carnage. Let There Be Carnage. Yeah, the Venom Let There Be Carnage movie with this guy here.
Okay.
D. Oh, yeah, I guess it's C. D.
That's not very high. Yeah, I'd put it at D.
I have a feeling most of the Sony stuff is going to live in this realm right here. Except for I'm trying to remember what happened at
Into the Spider-Verse is a D too, because the Into the Spider-Verse one was just the setup for Spider-Man 2099, and it did give us the pointing meme. And I want to say it led into the Venom movie. I can't remember what other movie it led into. I want to say it led into the Venom movie.
Well, obviously it did not have a lasting impression. Right, except for the pointing scene.
Was it just a separate piece? Didn't that lead into that Spider-Ham short?
Oh, with John Mulaney?
I think that was just a
Yeah.
separate piece.
Was that just a separate piece? Okay. So for Into the Spider-Verse, I guess I don't think it was as bad as Venom, so I put that C.
Put it C.
Yeah.
I
mean, we could
think I agree. I do think it's a little bit better than the Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Eternals. Eternals was the Black Knight reveal, right?
Black Knight reveal.
That's
and
a D.
Yeah, that
but
was
you did hear
Blade.
right?
Yeah, Mahershala.
But I still think it was a D because it really didn't
Yeah, wasn't. Yeah.
go anywhere, and like that whole movie led you to believe that the Black Knight, like from the trailers and stuff and the hype, the Black Knight was going to be in all of it. The Black Knight was going to be in all of it, and you don't even see him
Yeah.
become the Black Knight till like that after credit scene. So
yeah.
So we're putting a D.
Yeah, I think
D. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they kind of hint that he's probably something more, but they never really do it until that credit scene.
All right,
They keep talking about his heritage. Lineage.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home had the Venom after credits and Doctor Strange trailer.
I
also think it was a D.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, except that it had Danny Rojas. Football is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm watching the thing. I was like, where do I know that guy from?
Dude, the minute he came on screen, Aaron was like, "That's Danny Rojas," and I was like, "Yep, it sure is."
So we're giving this one a D too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Captain Marvel.
That was the Skrulls, right?
Was it the one where?
No, the reveal of Skrulls was Spider-Man
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Man, this is hard. I'm looking them up as we're talking about them.
What was the Captain Marvel one?
I thought that was the one with the two Skrulls and they were in the car when they changed.
No, that's Far From Home.
That's Spider-Man Far From Home.
That is Far From Home. Okay.
Yeah.
What was that one then? It was
Let's see.
I completely. Wasn't it? Didn't it tie into Endgame?
Yeah. Oh, was his the one? Was that the one where Stan Lee is talking to the Watchers?
No,
that was Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think.
Is that it?
Or was that Doctor Strange? See, they
Captain Marvel answers a call from the remaining Avengers and meets them. In Captain Marvel's mid-credit scenes, we get a close-up of Nick Fury's two-way pager, the one he messaged Captain Marvel with in Avengers Infinity War post-credit scene, and learn that the remaining Avengers and Captain America have bypassed its battery to keep its distress signal going. That's right, and then she appears. And then it ends. The second one, Goose the cat coughs up the Tesseract.
that's right.
That's a gag scene. So all this post-credit scene is just introduce Captain Marvel to, which doesn't make sense, does it?
And again, she really didn't do anything, so I'm gonna go D.
Does that really make sense? Because in Endgame, her introduction is she's flying through space, finds Robert Downey Jr. and brings him back home, and that's where she's introduced, right?
Well, she's introduced. She makes an appearance at the end of Infinity War, doesn't she? Isn't the end of Infinity War where she comes down and she's asking what happened here, and she's like looking for Nick Fury after the pager goes off?
No, I think it was.
And she's got the long hair, and then she comes back.
That's what it's saying is the end scene of Captain Marvel.
What? No.
It's also how they obtain a device. If you recall the end of Infinity War, this group of Avengers was in Wakanda. Then Thanos snapped his fingers and eliminated half of all life on the universe. They were ones who survived, while Spider-Man, Black Panther, blah, blah, blah. Then in the Infinity War post-credit scene, we saw Fury and Maria Hill driving. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Then she finds the pager.
Where's Fury? Yeah, okay. So, okay.
No, Infinity War is just where he's able to call her, and then he turns to dust, and the beeper hits the ground.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's Infinity War. Then the next movie to come out was Captain Marvel, and then it was Endgame.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's her arriving at the Avengers. Yeah, after Infinity War.
Which I reiterate doesn't. So does that scene happen after she saves Robert Downey Jr.?
No, it happens before.
So was she out in space looking for Robert Downey Jr.?
Are you're serious that Endgame's been out that long and you still haven't figured that out?
No. So
that Pepper Potts clearly sent her out there to find Tony Stark.
I've seen Endgame a million times, dude, and I did not realize that.
She was clearly sent out there to find him because of their beacon in the messages he was leaving her on the helmet. Like, she was clearly sent there to find them.
Guess I'm watching Endgame this weekend again. Because I did not catch that. All right, so is this Infinity War or Endgame right here?
That is Endgame.
Okay, so Endgame, the post-credit scene, there is no post-credit scene.
No, there is no post-credit scene in Endgame.
So what? So is that Endgame?
That isn't.
Don't know why that's there. Deadpool is the
that looks like Endgame to me, but I mean, you can use it for Infinity War, I guess. But
is Infinity War on here?
What's the one right next to Ant-Man? It's super small. I can't see it. It looks like an Infinity Gauntlet.
That's Infinity War. So this is Endgame. Endgame did not have an after credit scene except for it had the cool credit scene where they had the showcases of each of the original characters, which was kind of cool.
Yep.
But I don't know if you could really call that.
I give it an S tier just because it's the end of the arc.
All right, we'll stick it up here because I fucked up. Deadpool's the Ferris Bueller thing, right? In the pink robe.
Yeah, that's a D.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Well, yeah, because then he's like, and the next one's going to have Cable. So it was like the...
Yeah. I would give that at least a C.
Yeah, C or B.
Because it got me excited, and it was funny.
Yeah, I'll go C.
Spider-Man, is this Far From Home?
Yeah, that's the Skrulls one. I think that one's an A for me.
I agree, because that one actually...
Yeah.
And isn't that also... Is that the same one where you see Nick Fury on the ship? Isn't there two?
No.
What's that one?
No. That's...
Wait. Is it? Yeah, I think it is the same one.
Gosh dang it.
Because it reveals that Nick Fury hasn't been on Earth for a long time. It's the scroll, the reveal of the Skrulls and that Nick Fury's in space. I think it's all the same scene.
Well, it's not all the same scene. I think it's two separate scenes, but it's in the same movie.
I think you're right.
First, the mid-credit scene. We first see J.K. Simmons having about halfway through the credits of Far From Home.
Oh, that's the reveal.
It's the reveal of
that's Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Yeah, Nick Fury's scroll ending is post-scene is the same. It's the same. So it shows the reveal of the Skrulls, and then it cuts to outer space, and it shows Nick Fury on Sword, the space station. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, where he's in that. He looks like he's on the beach, and then he gets up, and he's on the space station.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's saying that's not in Spider-Man, so that's in a different movie.
Yeah, because that's definitely before WandaVision, because I remember in that they said that if you look on his screen, you can see the hexagon on one of the screens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
Ow.
Oh, man, the timeline of this gets kind of jacked up. The only thing it shows you is that they're sitting in the car and that Maria Hill and Nick Fury are actually Skrulls. It doesn't go to the Nick Fury because it says, but logistically that raises a new question. How long has Nick Fury been ordering Talos and other Skrulls to impersonate him on Earth?
Probably since the end of Captain Marvel. Because they kind of joined forces with the two of them at the end of that.
Spider-Man Far From Home, leading into Spider-Man's No Way Home. Peter Parker and Michelle Jones finished their date as Pat Kaner presents a breaking news bulletin to Parker's home on horror. The Daily Bugle editor J. Jonah Jameson releases footage leaked by the Quentin Beck, in which Beck suggests that Spider-Man murdered him and that orders the death of many others, after which reveals the two worlds that Parker is Spider-Man. Foreshadowing Secret Invasion, Nick Fury and Maria Hill are revealed to be Talos and Soren in disguise. That Soren's urging Talos contacts the real Nick Fury, who is commanding a ship crew by Skrulls, and informs him of the unexpected complications they faced in their mission to stop the Eternals. Or the Elementals.
So that goes directly into Secret War, right?
That goes into Secret Invasion, yeah.
Secret Invasion, sorry. I was thinking Infinity War. Secret Invasion. So that's actually pretty exciting. Like the fact that Skrulls are actually coming and there's going to be a huge storyline involving them. So I agree with you. That should be an A. What was Shang-Chi's?
Shang-Chi. In the mid-credit scene, Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers meet with Wong, Shang-Chi, and Katie Chen via holograms to observe the 10 rings and discuss their origins. Discovering that the rings are sending a message after Danvers and Banner leave, Wong joins Shang-Chi and Chen in spending the night singing karaoke.
Getting drunk.
So the beacon thing still hasn't been answered, right?
What?
No.
The beacon thing in the gauntlets or whatever, or not gauntlets, bracelet things.
No.
There's like a beacon.
That's still coming up.
So we still don't have an answer to that. So where would you, knowing that that's incomplete and not knowing where it's going, because it's the only...
I think Shang-Chi gets a B just for the sheer comedic value of Wong singing karaoke.
I love that fucking movie, dude. That movie surprised the hell out of me how much I liked it.
I think that's a good setup too for whatever's coming.
Ant-Man. Did you find all the post-credit scenes?
Yeah.
Are you reading them?
Yeah.
What's at the end of Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man?
Ant-Man, the mid-credit scene foreshadows Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hank Pym showing Hope Van Dyne an advanced yet unfinished prototype for the Wasp suit, promoting her to state it's about damn time. In a cut-down scene from Captain America Civil War, Captain America and Falcon discuss what to do with the trapped Winter Soldier, with the Accords preventing them from contacting Tony Stark. Falcon recommends a guy who can help them. I give that one an A.
Except for that scene where he's got his metal arm trapped in that contraption, is not even a new scene. Like they ripped it directly from the movie. That was my only beef with that.
Fine.
It wasn't anything new. Well, it was new at that time, but then they just reused it.
Yeah,
that was.
But it also set up Captain America Civil War. It introduced you to the Soviet Accords. It kind of sets up a lot. So and
the guy he's talking about is Ant-Man, correct?
Yeah, I give that one. Yeah. I give that one an A.
An A. Infinity War.
The original Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War foreshadowing Captain Marvel. Nick Fury sends the distress signal to an unidentified individual via pager as he, Maria Hill, and several Atlanta pedestrians corrode to dust. So that's the introduction of him paging Captain Marvel.
Which at the time was pretty cool. And then you saw Captain Marvel and you were like, oh, this character kind of sucks.
I think it's a D because it really doesn't amount to much. It's not like...
Yeah. I mean, I was excited when I saw it, but then Captain Marvel was such a letdown.
Yeah.
That it kind of cheapened the after
Yeah, but you
credits.
didn't know that. You didn't know that how Captain Marvel was going to turn out from that just a post credit. I thought.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was exciting when you first saw it, right?
Yeah, so I'd put that in C.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll give you C.
It wasn't upper tier. It was lower tier, but A couple of these have been worse than that. I mean,
I think it would have been a B if Captain Marvel was a good movie. You know, just kind of living up to the hype that those credits started.
right? Yeah,
and then Captain Marvel was such a letdown that I think it cheapened it. So it could have been a B, but I think I agree with C. Black Panther. Trying to move through these quickly.
Black Panther, mid-credit scene, T'Challa travels to the International Center with Nakia and Okoye and Ao to speak before Everett Ross in the United Nations, stating that Wakanda will be open their borders and utilize its resources to help the world. Shuri visits a convalescent Bucky Barnes. I don't know why they use convalescent, but whatever. Bucky Barnes,
too smart for their britches.
Yeah, who has awoken from cryostasis and tells him he has much to learn.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
actually like that
essentially
one.
them giving him the robotic arm.
I actually like that. I think that one's an A, specifically because Chadwick Boseman is the GOAT. I love Chadwick Boseman. I miss him dearly. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Black Panthers, I'd probably give a C to.
Sticks?
Yeah, I'll go C. I think that's
all right. I'm outvoted. We'll put it in C. You see, I'm not fighting on a lot of these.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Captain America Civil War. Mid-credit scene foreshadowing Black Panther. Steve Rogers watches Bucky Barnes go back into cryostasis and thanks to T'Challa, who has granted them asylum in Wakanda until a cure for Banner's mental programming can be found. Or sorry, Barnes, not Banner. For Barnes' mental programming can be found. Foreshadow Spider-Man Homecoming. Peter Parker rests on his bed as Aunt May inquires about his black eye. As soon as leaves the room, Peter inspects the web shooters and watches as they emit the spider-shaped symbol. Yes, that is an A, 100%, just for the introduction of Spider-Man.
I'd almost argue that it's an S. Dude, I was so fucking geeked when I saw that scene.
But he was in the movie, though, so, like, he was already
but barely in the movie. Like, you actually got to see Aunt May. You got to see some of the techies.
I'll give you S.
I was so geeked. Sticks, are you okay with me putting this in S?
I'm good either S or A, yeah.
Just because of how Spider-Man is my favorite character, so I was fucking geeked when this came out. Civil War or Captain America: The First Avenger. That's this one, right? That was him waking up in that room and running out.
The Avengers. Nick Fury gives Steve Rogers an assignment with worldwide ramifications. No, it's the one where he's like basically beating the shit out of the heavy bag.
Which one's the one where he wakes up in the room and then discovers that it's
part of the movie? Like it's part of.
Oh, is that the end of the movie?
Yeah. That's the very end of the movie. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a cool post-credit scene. They just showed it in the mid-credits. I thought it was a mid-credits, but you're probably right. Okay, where do you guys put this one?
Like a C,
because it's essentially the same thing as Iron Man's post-credit scene, right?
Yeah.
We're starting the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, C. Yeah.
C.
It wasn't anything different than
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, the mid-credit scene foreshadows Avengers Age of Ultron. Baron Strucker and Liz makes their way through the facility where the Serpent is being studied and approaches a pair of holding cells containing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Oh, fuck yeah, that was awesome too. And she smacks her hand together and it turns black.
And then the other one is the disguised Winter Soldier infiltrates the Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian and comes across a memorial for Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
I give that one an A.
Just because the Scarlet Witch thing, Quicksilver, take it or leave it, but the Scarlet Witch thing was fucking awesome.
The X-Men one was the one where they have the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch and they're like shaking or whatever. They're in the cell too, right? Are they in a cell too?
No, Scarlet Witch has never been introduced in the X-Men movie. They never introduced. Quicksilver's been the X-Men, but never Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
Yeah, the one you're thinking about is the end of Winter Soldier, where they're
Is that okay? It is
yeah
that
they're
one, then.
experimenting on them, and they're in their like cells.
And they're like shaking, right?
Well,
Or,
he's like speeding around in
shaking?
his little cell, and then she's like making shit with her fingers.
Yeah.
And then she has
Okay.
she makes a little magic with her hand and then slaps it, like kills it
Okay.
or whatever, and then the screen turns black. It's actually a pretty badass scene.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 is
Okay.
where he goes back in time and kills baby Hitler, I think, and shoots himself when he's reading the Green Lantern thing.
Ryan
That's an A
Reynolds,
for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It has no implications for the future, but the Green
Yeah.
Lantern thing alone was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is a cutscene to Ragnarok, where he's drinking. In a cut down scene from Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange asks Thor why he brought Loki to Earth. Discovering that they are searching for Odin, Strange offers to help on the condition that the two brothers return to Asgard once their mission is complete.
So
And
this
then-
is the one. Yeah, this
Where
is
he's
the one where
refilling
Thor
the
is
beer,
drinking his
right?
beer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Doctor Strange refills the beer.
And turns doesn't he turn his hammer into an umbrella?
Yeah. And then also foreshadowing Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, Carl Mundo confronts Pangborn and takes away his magic, explaining he is doing so because he could see at long last what's wrong with the world, and there are too many sorcerers.
Where'd you put this?
I would honestly think that's a C.
A C?
Yeah.
Man, post-credit scenes are not faring well. Like, majority of these are C and Ds.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just a matter of how you're ranking, because I'm going off of like
The importance.
comedy aspect of it. Like, that's why Deadpool gets an A, is for just like the comedy aspect of it and how much I enjoyed it. But then also like importance of the events that it shows. And
So, Volume 2 was the Adam Warlock reveal, right?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, in the pre-credit scene, yes,
Doesn't
and
it
the
just show
sacrifice-
the machine that's building him or whatever, Adam Warlock?
Yeah, it's Adam Warlock.
Like his
Foreshadowing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. NASA tells her companion she is creating a being capable of destroying the Guardians of the Galaxy, deciding to call her creation Adam. And then also Peter Quill walking into an adolescent-sized group playing on the video games. Shows his disgust over the vines in Gert's room.
Isn't this where Thor smacks into the window too?
Yeah.
Or is that the end of Ragnarok?
That's the end of Thor Ragnarok.
Where Thor smacks into the window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, where would you put Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy?
Probably C.
I guess it really depends on when we see Adam Warlock in this new movie, how badass he is, right? And then it could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, well,
Yeah.
the fans would put these higher up. You guys downvoting it, LOL.
I would put, I like that, but being a comic guy, I know who that is. It doesn't really reveal who the guy is. Anyone who doesn't read comic books isn't going to know who that is. They're like, oh, it's Cocoon.
Yeah. Well, you can't even really tell it's a cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, knowing from the comics, it's supposed to be a cocoon, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. The Volume 1, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, in a pre-credit scene, Groot dances to I Want You Back, and the Jackson 5 as Drax the Destroyer sharpens his two knives. When Drax turns his way, Groot freezes, only to continue when Drax looks away.
Which spawned so much merchandise.
That, and also the Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, Howard the Duck. I think that was
Howard
the last
Duck
one. Right?
reveal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
I like
Howard
that
the Duck
one.
reveal.
I like Howard the Duck.
I'd give that one a B.
A B?
Yeah, I'd put that
Yeah.
B.
The Hulk.
That is the one where Tony Stark
And Thunderbolt
runs
Ross.
into a Thunderbolt Ross at a bar and tells him that a team is being put together. Yeah.
I don't know. That one was essentially the same as Iron Man.
I would probably go A for that one. I'd probably go B because it's the start of the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, I would go one higher than we put the Iron Man one because it was the original to that.
No, Iron Man came first.
No, the Hulk did.
No, Iron Man.
No, Iron Man came first. Yeah, Hulk was the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Hulk, basically, that scene is the same scene as the Iron Man scene, but with Robert Downey Jr. instead of Nick Fury.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
See, I think you should put Hulk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Captain America one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you put So then you'd put the Hulk one A, or no, the first Avenger Captain America one. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember we were talking.
So
about
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the Hulk should be B. I think Iron Man, the original Iron Man, goes to S because that started it all.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll just put that up there because I agree with you. Sticks, you okay with that?
Yeah. Yep.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, after recounting his battles with Aldrich Killian and his struggles with the post-traumatic stress disorder, Tony Stark realizes Bruce Banner slept through most of the story, thinking of nothing of it. Stark begins telling another story, much to Banner's chagrin. So that's a D to me. That doesn't even matter.
Did you see your mom's comment?
Yeah, the Ish found Hudson Hawk on Netflix.
No, she's got to cancel her Netflix account.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 was a cut down scene for Thor. Coulson drives towards the center in the New Mexico desert where someone's hammer has crashed and reported discovered to Nick Fury. That one's going to be a C for me.
A C. Yeah, that's right. It went Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, right? Isn't that the release?
Yeah.
Yeah. Avengers Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, that one's going to be an S to me because it's Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to do it myself. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Avengers 1.
Avengers 1 is the reveal of Thanos. Yeah, the side
returns
shot
his face.
Yep, that's S. S tier for sure.
Black Widow. That's the
Black Widow is the reveal of
she's standing at her grave site and Julia Louis-Dreyfus says, "Hey, Hawkeye is the reason your sister's dead."
Yeah.
Where would you put that?
de Fontaine. It basically sends Yelena after Clint.
Where would you put that one?
Probably C.
C?
I don't know. I think more B
because I didn't. Because the reveal of Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, I'll give it to you for B. That's fine.
It's probably the only really good part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because that kind of sets up the Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Mm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The original Venom, I don't even remember what that one is.
It's the reveal of Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah. He goes to visit him in jail.
Oh, yeah, and he's got that goofy-ass wig on.
Yeah, that's a D.
Yeah, that they got rid of for the movie. The Wolverine, I think, is that the one where he opens, or is that a deleted scene where he opens the case?
That's never even been in a movie.
The one where he, yeah, you're right. That wasn't in the movie.
That was a deleted scene, right? They didn't ever put it in.
Yeah.
That would have been
right.
Awesome.
Yep.
That would have been an awesome post-credit scene. The Wolverine. post credits. Let's see. Hey, we're almost through all these.
Isn't that the one that leads into Days of Future Past? Where
The Wolverine,
him and Magneto,
foreshadowing X-Men. Yeah, he meets him in like an airport.
Yeah, the airport security terminal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who meets who?
He meets Magneto and Xavier.
Professor X and Magneto.
Okay, where did you put that one?
I'd go.
I like that one.
Yeah, I'd probably go A.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is that the one where they put him in the quantum realm, and when he's trying to get pulled out, they vanish?
Yes.
Yeah, they get snapped.
That's an A for me.
The giant ant is playing Scott Lang's electric drum set.
Yeah.
I'll give you the A.
Yeah.
Finding out that
Hank
Pym and Hope were snapped. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, foreshadow X-Men Apocalypse. In Egypt, you have a crowd chanting to Inu Shabanur,
D,
who is the telekinesis build the pyramids. 4 horsemen watch from nearby. So
D.
that's the apocalypse stuff.
Reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Apocalypse movie wasn't that great, but yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't remember my reaction when I originally saw that, but then knowing the movie that came after, was
good, but the movie is horrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
D. Give it a D.
Origins. Oh, where did it go?
X-Men Origins Wolverine showed that Deadpool was still alive. Foreshadowing Deadpool. Deadpool's arms slowly pull its implanted blades back into his body.
Oh.
Then it moves further in search. Deadpool is seen, mouth no longer sealed, opening his eyes and whispering a short shh, revealing that he was alive. And then Wolverine is in a bar in Japan drinking shots of whiskey. After asking for another shot, the Japanese bartender asks him if he's an American. Wolverine responds, Canadian, I think. She then asks if he's drinking to forget. He replies, no, I'm drinking to remember. That's a D.
Yeah, is that the one where Deadpool shushes the screen?
Yes, I just said that. It's
yeah. Sorry, I lost Days of Future Past. Like it moved somewhere in here, and I was searching for it as you were talking. I had already read it, and so I wasn't listening to you. I was trying to find stupid Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man. Is that the Sinister Six reveal?
Yeah.
Where they're like in the cells?
Which movie?
Yeah, they're all in that cell under Oscrers.
Amazing Spider-Man, but it's not showing the people. It's like just has like Doc Ock's arms.
That's so. God, what is
Spider-Man 2, right?
Yeah. What is the Amazing Spider-Man post-credit scene?
I'm looking it up right now. Oh no, that's the one where he's in the cell. He's in the cell, and the bug thing is talking to him, right?
No, that's fucking Shazam, dude. So it's Kurt Connors is sitting in a cell, and like the masked man is talking to him.
Oh, so it's nearly the same scene?
Essentially, but it's not a
That's
bug.
That's the one I'm describing?
The bug is Shazam.
Okay. All right. So where do you guys put that one?
D.
Agreed. D. Is this Far From Home? Or is this Homecoming?
That's Far From Home. Oh, no, that's
Far From Home.
No, this is Homecoming.
No, that's Far From Home.
No, we already did Far From Home. It's right here. Under A.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that is Homecoming.
This one's Homecoming.
That is Homecoming. Okay.
So that one, I don't even remember what happens in that one.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Adrian Toomes encounters Mark Grogan in prison, and he learns that he has friends looking to kill Spider-Man. before being confronted with the rumors about him knowing who the young crime fighter is. Toombs denies knowing Spider-Man's true identity and leaves to see his family. Then you had the Captain America public service announcement on the importance of patience and breaking the fourth wall. I like that movie because it fucking trolled everyone about basically making fun of you for sitting there waiting for an after credit scene. So I give that one an A.
Yeah, especially because Scorpion's gonna come, dude. Like, I'm so excited for that. Scorpion's awesome.
He's probably never coming, just FYI.
They're saying that he's supposed to be a focal part of the next trilogy.
Nah.
I hope you're wrong. Where would you put this?
I said, I think that's an A.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just for the troll factor.
Sticks, you good with that?
A all the way, yeah. I agree.
Okay,
I agree with that actually, yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the one that shows the underground cell.
This one has two. It's the underground cell that shows he's going into it and it shows the Doc Ock arms and all that, the Sinister Six stuff.
The vulture wings
but it also has the reveal to Peter Parker that his dad's still alive.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I tried to block that movie from my memory. The only good thing about that movie is the Gwen Stacy death scene because they did it so well. I don't know. Where would you put that one? We never got the follow-up. So to me, it's a D.
Yeah.
We never got the follow-up.
Yeah, I'll give you D. I'll give you D for it.
If we got a follow-up, maybe it would have been... No, fuck, that's not the one I want. If we got a follow-up, maybe it would have been better.
I'll give you D for it.
You know, who knows? We might get a follow-up. We don't know. Thor: The Dark World.
I
want to say that one was funny. Or no, was that the one? Was that the one that
Thor:
showed
The Dark World? In the mid-credit scene foreshadowing Guardians of the Galaxy, Sif enters the ether, unaware that he is planning to track down the remaining Infinity Stones. Yeah, ether to Tavin, unaware that he is planning to track down the Infinity Stones. While entering several collages in her London flat, Jane Foster sees a portal open in her balcony and runs outside to find Thor, whom she happily embraces. Meanwhile, a flock of birds attempts to flee from the frost beast.
It's the troll scene where they're kissing.
Yeah. D.
That was dumb.
D. All day D's.
The original Thor.
D's. Nick Fury welcomes Eric Selvig to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s facility, and after showing him the Tesseract, asks him to investigate the object further. Selvig agrees, unaware that his mind is being controlled by Loki.
B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. I'll go B.
Ragnarok.
B.
That's the Thor on the windshield.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's Thor on the windshield is part of the movie, isn't it?
No, Thor Ragnarok in the mid-credit scene foreshadowing Avengers Infinity War. Loki visits Thor in his quarters and asks if he's going to Earth, and is a good idea as a large spaceship appears in front of them. Thor Grandmaster attempts to place the citizens of Sakaar by declaring the revolution a draw.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
I would say it's an A, and I'm gonna say B.
Sticks, where's it
Man,
at?
I don't even remember that one.
I don't remember it either.
Remember that one.
Yeah, it's like the Thanos' ship appears in front of them.
Oh, when they're on their ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the start of Infinity War when Thanos is invading their ship and killing all of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it now.
Okay.
This one is this The Last Stand? Which one is this? No, First Class?
X-Men First Class.
Damn it, I wish it made these pictures a little bit bigger.
I don't think First Class.
No, that's Apocalypse.
Yeah, that was the lead into Apocalypse.
So what was the Apocalypse post credit scene?
It was
whatever it was. It's a D.
Yeah, I'll give it a good D. It's fine.
I mean, one good thing. Oh no, we got Dark Phoenix after that, didn't we? You're probably leading something to Dark Phoenix. Now, The Last Stand. That's this one here. Horrible movie.
Oh,
but the post credit scene
the end credits.
is Professor Xavier in the hospital bed, right?
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
Which I don't understand why they never saw that through. Why did he never become Onslaught? It will ever fucking just boggle my mind.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it was still fucking awesome. I mean,
yeah,
I remember when that came on, I was like, oh,
I think
shit.
they forgot what they were. I think they forgot what they were teasing.
That movie, that franchise never knew what the hell they were.
No, they were all over the place.
Yeah, so but Guardians it was still an awesome scene.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is actually the Stan Lee Watcher.
Is it? I like that one. Where'd we put that one? We put that one in C.
We have it on here?
I think the Stan Lee thing, we should move it to a B. Because I really like that one.
Yeah, we can move it on.
Because remember for years, everybody was like, Stan Lee's a Watcher.
I think C is good.
Oh,
but The Last Stand for me is an A. It's the only good part of that movie. But it's up to you guys, whatever you guys decide. Because we got to get into our Moon Knight talk real quick.
I wouldn't give it an A, man. Honestly, I would give it a C because it never goes anywhere.
That's true.
They go into Apocalypse.
Scene, but never.
Yeah,
where did it go?
Never. The foreshadow of him becoming Onslaught never comes to fruition. So C.
But do you guys see where it went?
No.
Here it is. It went to the right place.
Okay.
My mouse has been hopping all over the place. All right, there's our end credit scenes. That was fun.
That was quick.
I tried, man. Did you see I didn't fight back at all?
Yeah.
All right.
That's hard because you got to really remember what they were.
Yeah, and the problem is that I researched this when I made it, which was 3 weeks ago, or whenever Morbius was. It was a week before Morbius was coming out.
Getting pushed and pushed and pushed.
So when I researched it, I was like, okay, I remember all these. I had all the sites open to check back on them in case we forgot something. But that was 3 weeks ago and a little unprepared. But next, Moon Knight.
Episode 2 of Moon Knight.
Which I've been seeing a lot of crap about this.
We finally get to see where Moon Knight takes place in the Marvel line.
Where's that? How do you see that?
It's on the bus when he's fighting the Jackal.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the bus.
What does it say on the bus?
They're talking about I believe it's one of the corporations that they're talking about in Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's written on the it's Falcon Winter Soldier. They're talking about the company that they're trying to rebel against, the super soldier people. It's been so long since
I've seen it. Okay. I need to watch it again because I usually watch these shows twice before we start to review them. So this show's been getting a lot of this episode specifically is getting a lot of flack because they're saying that they reduced Moon Knight to a satirical Deadpool type when he becomes Mr.
Knight.
Mr. Knight, it's a little too goofy and it kind of isn't true to what Moon Knight is to a character. That's the bad stuff that I've been seeing online.
Stephen Grant fights an ancient Egyptian jackal monster in the streets of London. Part of that fight takes place in front of and into a red double-decker bus. Well, Kenosha, Avatar, and I can't ever pronounce his name. Avatar,
Khonshu.
Avatar and public transport. Probably didn't enjoy how the ride ended. It was a big deal for fans. The side of the bus provides us the first concrete evidence of when the show takes place. It has a giant poster for the GRC Global. God, I can't see this. Global, whatever council first introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So they're the ones that are trying to put everything back together after the blip.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the group that is her name Carly?
Yeah.
That's the group that she's with. It's not the one that's or no, it's the group that she's fighting against. They want to put people that were blipped back into the homes that they left and
The government
displace all the people that are currently
the government
in
of
those
the
homes.
MCU world created the GRC in 2023 after Hulk brought everyone back to help relocate those who had returned from the snap but found their homes and jobs occupied. As Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes learned, not everyone approved of the GRC's methods. The Flag Smashers sought to destroy the GRC, its resources, and maintain a world without borders. They all died in the pursuit, but the new Captain America gave a rousing speech on live TV to the planet about why the GRC needs to be better. So yeah, this takes place after or around the same time as Falcon Winter Soldier, it looks like.
So the multiversal thing has not happened yet.
Correct.
I hate that they do that shit. I really miss linear storytelling. You have to like sit there and figure out where it falls in the timeline. Just release it in the order that we're supposed to watch it, please. Well, because now we saw Loki and then No Way Home, and we're like, oh man, where are they going with this? We're all excited for Doctor Strange, and then we have this shit that doesn't really do anything to tell us, give us any more information about the multiversal stuff that's happening. I mean, it's a good show. I like it. But
the Marvel page on streaming sites has a category labeled Marvel Cinematic Universe in timeline order, and Moon Knight currently sits at the very end of its MCU timeline playlist after Hawkeye. That puts the Oscar Isaac-led show in the year 2025. Spider-Man No Way Home isn't available on Disney+.
Will be soon. Next year, I think, right?
I don't know when
They made that
Spider-Man
deal with
is
Sony.
coming.
They made a deal with Sony to get Sony's stuff, but it has to go on Stars first for like a year or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. It wasn't as clever as the first movie or the first episode. The first episode I thought was awesome because there was some cleverness to it. This one was a little bit more not slapsticky. That's not the tongue-in-cheek, I guess you could say. There's a little bit more humor infused in this one. You did get a little bit more background of Ethan Hawke's character and kind of what he's wanting to do. Is basically he's wanting to take away people's agency for the most part. When they bring this Egyptian god back, who's essentially an enemy of, and I forget the Egyptian god that is Moon Knight. What's his name?
Khonshu.
It's Khonshu's enemy, right? This woman that basically
you find
takes
out
away everybody's free agency.
Yeah, well, you find out that Ethan Hawke was Khonshu's last vessel before Mark Spector, and he seems kind of butthurt about it. And so he's trying to resurrect this other Egyptian spirit.
Now, based on this episode, I kind of felt let down a little bit because I had read something before the episode premiered that was insinuating that all these different personalities of Mark Spector are actually different multiversal versions of him, like clashing together.
No, that's just stupid. It's just crazy.
I thought that was a good idea, but now it's I don't know. I thought that was inventive and could have pulled that other storyline in eventually, but this kind of debunks that.
But I like what they did with the two different personalities as far as like Mr. Moon or Mr. Knight and Moon Knight is concerned, because Mr. Knight is kind of like, the version of this character believing, kind of trying to believe, of Steven kind of believing in himself and what he can do when he believes in himself, as to where the Mark Spector Moon Knight is more the classic warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing it does is it gives each character their own. So Steven is the Mr. Knight, and Mark Spector is the classical Moon Knight.
But there's other personalities within him, right?
Separate them.
Doesn't he have
the going theory.
A lot more?
Yeah, but you can say that Khonshu is a personality.
Well, everyone keeps calling him a different name, right? So, like, the security guard calls him Scotty.
Yeah.
And like the one girl calls him something else.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's still, I mean, there's only 6 episodes, so I have a feeling that the next episode's going to have some pretty big reveals.
Apparently episode 4 is the big one.
Is the big one, huh? So they'll have 2 episodes, which that tracks. I mean, I feel like WandaVision, Loki, like when they had 2 episodes left is when shit hit the fan. It seems to be that that's their model, right? Because was the third to last episode of Hawkeye the Kingpin reveal?
No, dude, they introduced the Kingpin in like the 3rd episode, yeah.
But just his it was only, wasn't that only 6 episodes too?
It was just his voice, yeah. It was just his voice.
Yeah, his voice, yeah.
The 4th episode,
he was.
Wasn't there something huge that happened in the 4th episode?
The 5th episode was the video, right?
The video reveal. Yeah, the video reveal at the end.
Was the video reveal of the 4th or was it the 5th?
I think it was the 4th. And the 5th one, was because it was like a 2-parter, right? The 4th.
Was the 5th one where she's like confronting her about the video?
No.
God.
I can't remember now.
No, it wasn't that long ago. That's really bad that we can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't watched Hawkeye since it came out.
Yeah, but it was not that long ago. But you're right. I mean,
I just know that the end of this fucking last episode was the stupid song, Steve Rogers song.
Episode 4
you didn't like
was
Rogers the musical.
All right. I can do this all
episode
day.
4. Episode 4 was when they're fighting on the rooftop.
Yeah, so it's
and that's the Yelena, the Yelena thing.
Reveal.
Yeah, so
episode 5 is the video.
Video.
Episode 6 is the actual Kingpin.
Okay.
So, but they get the Rolex watch back in episode 4 and stuff. But they kind of have a model that they're going for, so it doesn't surprise me that episode 4 is gonna be the big one.
The big one. The big one.
My thing is that this show ends. This show will still be the last episode of this show, and then Doctor Strange hits, or does this overlap?
Let's see. We're on episode 2.
So that means 4 weeks.
3 will be the 13th. 4 will be the 20th. 5 would be the 27th. 6 would be the day before Doctor Strange comes out.
So I kind of hope that the last episode of this has some sort of like lead in or some sort of connection to Doctor Strange.
I don't think it will.
Being that they're so freaking close. And then then Miss Marvel comes out. Is it Miss Marvel? Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
Was that come out like 3 weeks later or something?
No, I think that doesn't come out until after Kenobi, right?
Yeah, it comes after Kenobi.
Is it Kenobi that comes out 3 weeks later? Isn't there like a 3-week window and then something else comes out?
Well, Kenobi's May 25th.
Well, Kenobi comes out on the 25th or 27th.
No,
So that tracks. That's about 3 weeks later.
So
And
yeah, Miss Marvel doesn't
in
come out
August?
till June 8th.
June?
Okay, so yeah, there's usually like 2 to 3 week windows in between each of these shows. So 3 weeks later, Obi comes out, and then probably 3 weeks after that, Miss
Obi
Marvel
comes out the 27th.
It's about 3 weeks later after Moon Knight's final episode.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure how that tracks with Obi-Wan to Miss
Exactly
Marvel,
3 weeks.
Yeah, that's been the theme, is that there's usually a new show. One of these kind of the Star Wars or Marvel shows, there's usually 3 week intervals.
And then Miss Marvel comes out, Miss Marvel comes out 3 weeks after, or 2 weeks after Kenobi.
Yeah,
starts.
Yeah, so that tracks. That's usually the history they've gone with. I don't know. This just leaves a lot of questions. Like, first of all, so has he been having these split personalities his entire life?
No.
So when did he marry that girl? And who is the primary? Is it Mark or is it Steven?
He didn't. I don't think he did anymore.
He didn't marry that girl, you don't think?
I think Mark. They say in this episode that Mark is using Steven or this body. He doesn't really say Steven. He says, "I'm using this body as a vessel."
Yeah.
So.
Mark says that?
Yeah.
So when the hell did he marry this girl?
Who knows?
They're actually married because there's divorce papers in it.
I think that Mark is the primary and Steven is I don't know. Because I know in the comics
when
Mark is the primary in the comic.
When Khonshu's talking to him. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sticks. What were you saying?
Yeah, what were you saying?
I was gonna say when Khonshu is talking to Mark, he says to him, "I thought you said he wouldn't interfere."
Yeah.
That leads me to believe that Mark used him because he knew he was
docile.
He was passive aggressive or whatever you want to call him. He was, it wasn't someone that was going to put up a fight.
But then does that mean they're going to kind of work his backstory, and it's no longer going to be that Mark Spector was killed and Khonshu resurrected him?
Yeah, well, they said that. They said he raised him from the dead.
Yeah.
He saved him. So whether he's a spirit that can inhabit people, I guess.
But that doesn't make sense because this woman believes
other stuff too.
This woman believes that he is in fact Mark.
I guess he looks like him. So.
Well, yeah, or
that's who she knows as.
He's got the passport and stuff. Well, the other thing is we don't know how long Mark Spector's been in this body. So you don't know how long he's been going through all this.
Maybe it is a multiversal thing. Maybe his personalities are coming from other universes.
I don't think that's the case. I think he's definitely like.
I don't think that's it at all.
I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Like, how long has he been? The split personality thing been going? Who's the main thing? If it's always been Mark, when did they get married?
But see, like in the comics, it's Mark Spector, but the identity that is Steven is more, he's of a rich dude. Like, he's not this gift shop worker. He's a rich guy. He's basically Bruce Wayne, essentially.
Yeah. And I understand why they did that, to kind of separate the Batman similarities. They're really wanting to separate the Batman thing from this.
Zaggy says he's the same look for all of them, but different suits.
What?
I don't know what he's trying to say.
Yeah, so the thought is that there's going to be a third person that shows up in this conscious. So they'll leave a third Moon Knight.
The mirror thing is a cool idea. Are they kind of arguing with each other?
Yeah,
the mirror.
Yeah, that's been done before in other stuff. But yeah, that's good. That was a good idea.
I
But
kind of
kind of
wonder
like
if
how it's like a prison, like because remember Steven was saying I can't move, like it seems like almost like that is like a prison.
well,
in
it
its
almost
mind.
feels very much like a Doom Patrol scenario where all these personalities live inside this body, and then they just take control of the vessel. So essentially, Steven and Mark are the same person, but maybe Steve is his past side, and Mark Spector buried that side, and then when he died and was resurrected, these his personality shattered or splintered, and now Steve, they all live within him, so they're different entities, possessing the same body. So Steven is the more docile, non-violent part of
the same person
of Mark Spector, and then Mark Spector is the soldier. That's why when he gets like the Mr. Knight costume, he gets super strong and he gets all the powers of Moon Knight, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. And then Mark Spector takes over and changes costumes.
Do you think it's going to explain why their costumes look so different?
Well, I think one is more kind of like the
debonair,
brash, kind of like, educated.
I think it's just to separate the two characters.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, what's the reason for it in the comic book?
Well, it doesn't matter what the comic book is, right? I mean,
well, I'm just saying, like,
the comic book they're two different. They're two separate things. We're here, they're combining them. Like the wife. I think the wife they said was a combination of Mark Spector's girlfriend and the wife from the comic books, and they just kind of melded them together to be one person.
Yeah,
so I have a feeling we're getting here with him.
I have a feeling that we're going to be asking a lot of questions throughout the duration of the show. Kind of Loki and WandaVision. I mean, I'm not even just constant 100%. Questions.
I've never read Moon Knight, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have no
100% know what's going on.
I have no prior experience except the little bit of research I did before this.
Yeah, the Mr. Knight costume is an iteration of the character that works with the police to investigate crimes. The hooded and caped Moon Knight really was all about beating criminals to a pulp. Mr. Knight's persona presents themselves as a concerned citizen who represents Moon Knight, but passes himself off as another person. We're guessing the Marvel Universe cops just didn't ask many questions.
Because he's in a suit.
So he's more of like
the
detective. So essentially he's more of like the detective side of Batman, and then the hooded suit is more the vigilante, just beat the shit out of you version of the character.
Which, let me ask you, Matt, is his costume are you starting to like it?
No, I'm not.
Still don't like it?
I still don't like it, no.
I did like the crest on his chest where he can pull it off and he kind of throws it, and it was very Batman-esque from this newest movie. I don't know. So far, are you guys excited for the next episode?
Yeah.
There's not much to say about this one. It kind of, you do get some reveals as far as Ethan Hawke's priorities and his motivations and stuff, and then you do get to see a little bit more of the action stuff, whereas the first episode kind of like didn't show you a lot of the action, right?
Yeah,
kind of had you turn away. So that was nice. It was a little bit more action packed, but it just raises more questions. There's more questions, and we're not going to have answers probably for another 2 episodes. Fuck you, Marvel.
Probably not.
Keep me awake at night. All right. Well, I'm excited for the next few episodes. I think we've said enough about this, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have anything else? I don't feel like there's much more to say.
Well, the episode was kind of more the same of episode 1, where it was more focused on Steven, and you really only finally got to see him Mark Spector in action towards the end of the episode, but it was more of him just like leaping across buildings and then basically impaling the jackal on that spike.
That was awesome.
And then him finally taking over control and what looked like he was stomping out the Steven persona and taking over the host and basically staking claim to the host, which kind of made me feel like that's where they were going with this. Is it's all the same personas, different personas inhabiting this one body. And like when he died and was resurrected, his consciousness kind of split into these different personalities. So then you have the more everyday man that can work in the public in Steven, and that's why he's so prominent. And then Mark Spector's more of like the get shit done kind of guy, and that's why he's kind of hiding in the background because he's got all this sketchy shit and stuff. So I definitely think that is his wife, and I think they were married probably before he gets killed.
Yeah.
And then when he gets killed and gets resurrected, that's kind of where we're at, is everything's splintering off now.
Because you can kind of see that Mark is the only one that's getting any sort of backstory.
Yeah.
So that's what leads me to believe that he is the Prime. I mean, we learned that he killed a bunch of people in some other country. I don't remember what it was, because the cops were looking him up or something like that. And he's the one with a wife. You don't have any backstory for Steven except that he's a gift shop employee.
Yeah.
Leads me to believe that Mark is alpha. He's the main one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anything else you want to say about this show, Matt?
No, I mean, it's got me intrigued. It's not quite what I thought it was going to be. I still don't dig the Moon Knight. I liked the Mr. Knight costume. Like that was like the most comic book accurate costume we've gotten so far. But I'm not digging the actual like mystical Moon Knight, the bandages just wrap all over him costume.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it.
I want Venom to come in contact with him.
Well,
I think this costume in a Venomized version of this would be fucking awesome.
What was the point of him taking those moons off of his chest? He didn't really do anything with them. And you see him putting them back on after he like impales the jackal. Like he didn't throw them at the jackal. He didn't really do anything with them. Like I don't know. But I'm digging it. I'm here for the long haul.
It doesn't sound like you're digging it.
No, I am. It's 6 episodes. Like I am. I'm the opposite of Max. Max was like, I liked it, but I'm not digging the Steven stuff. And I kind of like the Steven and how it keeps you guessing and how he's trying to figure it all out too. But I'm just interested to see where it goes.
The Steven part, I think, is the most intriguing of the whole thing. Because he's the one that seems the most damaged, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So to me, that's the one I want to learn the most about. Why is he so damaged? Has he been around since the birth of this body, or is he someone new that's come around after the death experience or whatever it may be? I have questions about Steven. I don't have many questions about Mark.
Well, the other big cue is that Mark's wife, talks about his relationship with his mom. And Steven keeps trying to call his mom, but his mom won't answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps leaving her messages, but she's not. You don't ever see her return his calls. You don't ever see her answer the phone. So that goes to tell me that something happened before Steven was around. So that kind of another key that leads me to believe that like when he was resurrected, his personalities broke apart. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're on the right track. So, all right. Sticks, you have anything else you want to say about this?
No, I'm in this show all the way to the end, so I like where it's going. There's a definite mystery there and a lot of stuff to kind of give us in the end. So,
and Steven is kind of like his camouflage too, because like Steven allows him to operate in the day, under this guise. Well, Mark Spector
being helpless.
Yeah, and while Mark Spector is kind of doing all the background work, doing all the heavy lifting in the background.
My favorite stuff.
The one thing I'll say is,
go ahead.
the one thing I'll say is I think Steven must have some idea of what's going on because he keeps shackling his leg, and he's got the sand. He puts the sand around the bed.
Yeah,
He must know something.
Or he's confused as to why he keeps waking up in random places.
But it's almost as if he's being teleported. I don't know how long that's been going on. It's almost as if he's being teleported somehow. Because he goes to sleep, it's nighttime, and then he wakes up in that village and gets the scarab. But it can't be, because later he finds the scarab.
Yeah, but if you remember, he goes back in dialogue, it says that he's been gone for like 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know. These are my favorite Marvel properties that just keep making you ask questions. These are my favorite things that they come out with instead of the straight linear stuff like Shang-Chi and Eternals. You don't ask a lot of questions, really.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 weeks because he goes back to the gift shop and
Well, it's 4 days. Well, it's 4 days because
4 days.
He talks to her on Thursday.
It's Sunday, and it was supposed to be Friday.
They were supposed to have their dinner on Friday, and he's over there on Sunday.
Yeah, so he's been missing for 4 days, and then even when he goes into work, they're saying we haven't seen you in the last 4 days. So yeah, it's 4 days, not weeks.
Yeah.
But
alrighty.
Well, that's it.
That's it. That's the end. Well, Styx and I both watched Halo, but we'll talk more about Halo when Max is here. Because I don't have much to say about it. It's good. It's good, dude. Styx, you and I were talking about previously. Like, you think it's good?
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
I think it's good. I mean, I know if you're having trouble with it, if you're a Halo gamer, problem is you got to go into the show. You got to drop the name Halo. You don't worry about it being a Halo show. Watch it as if it's a sci-fi show.
Yeah,
not Halo,
because it deviates.
I think you'll like it better.
And it has to deviate because if you think about Halo, like Halo, the campaign mode was awesome, but there's no character development, right? You're just kind of thrust into this and fighting things, and there's not. Yeah. But the story's awesome, but it just doesn't work for a TV show that needs backstory and needs character development. The game doesn't have that. The show needs to deviate from the game, and if you can separate it and understand that this is different, it's great. I love it. I look forward to it every week.
I love the alien lady butt, big and juicy.
Yeah, this last episode you get Master Chief's butt.
Okay, I don't need to.
So Leftovers probably just as happy over Master Chief's butt.
Yeah, he said Master Chief's butt first. He said Master Chief's butt.
This is the guy that people are clamoring to play Wolverine, Tingles. Isn't it? The same guy?
Tingles.
Isn't this the same guy that some people are saying should play Wolverine, Master Chief? I've seen his name thrown around for something.
I haven't been watching the show.
Watch it, Matt. It's an easy watch.
I'll wait until the first season's done.
All right. Fine. Stubborn.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you drop a Halo off of it and you just watch it, if you think of it as just as any old sci-fi movie that you can go in to watch, I think you'll like it better.
It's actually easy because they don't say Halo at all in the show. They keep calling it a ring. I don't know if you caught that.
The ring.
The ring. We need to get the ring. Blah, 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 blah. The ring. Never Halo. I don't know. Yeah. It's good. I mean,
in the end, it's going to be a Halo because it's going to light up. But
yeah, that's probably the last episode. He's like, "Oh, it's a Halo." End credits.
It looks like a Halo.
Da, da, da.
Dun, dun.
Oh.
Yeah. But all right, guys. I think that's what we're going to end the show. Almost 4 hours in. Jeez Louise. Thanks everyone for checking us out.
Kyle wasn't even on.
I know. If you're checking us back on the playback, please make sure to like and subscribe button if you like the content of the show and you want to see more. Turn notifications on. Leave us a comment down in below if you liked our rankings. If not, if you disagreed with any of our rankings, let us know why in the comment section below.
And we really get a kick out of your nasty comments, so keep leaving them.
I guess, yeah.
They create a great dialogue.
Remember to go to get your 20% off Manscaped plus free shipping, promo code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com to make sure your balls are fresh. Your wife, husband, or significant other will thank you. And for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I am Lance. And that
Sticks.
sticks.
And remember, if you want to hear more from us, you can download us on any of your podcasting platforms. And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Leftover Zaggy. Shout out to Solo Wookie. Shout out to everybody.
We'll go ahead and
Chat.
spread
We love
our
you all.
cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the